Johnny Elite here, world's best Daygame coach. And, it looks like we have one person on the scoreboard here that did not make it to the tournament. Oh, Queefing Casanova's gone. So I guess that's why I have to take away some of the infield. Hey, what's up? That's why I had to unlist or private a lot of the infields because of him. And a lot of us could be crucified. Today, I'm going to talk about the 51-year-old man. He got laid with a 21-year-old. And of course, people don't want to just see the screenshots. This is the guy. You want to see the video testimonial. That's fine. Here's his lay pick. But don't worry, it's censored, so YouTube cannot get me in trouble. There's a mosaic over it. Now let's go listen to his video testimonial. Remember, I don't have this perfectly prepared. So I'm just winging it, basically. All right, his WhatsApp. For all the times I have to be searching for this fucking thing. Here it is. Let's go listen to his infield. Let's listen to his testimonial. Let's go. All right. If it's too late, I might make this video tomorrow.
Hello, this is another video update testimonial for dating coach John Elite.
He is German, and I'm not sure what she is. Maybe another Middle Eastern kind of type. So the first one was white.
Oops, I did it again. I fucked another 21-year-old yesterday. I am a 52-year-old, ugly, bald, fat German. I'm not good looking, and at the moment, I'm not looking good. I'm about 15% overweight and not in shape. But anyway, yesterday I fucked another 21-year-old. I hadn't even done any approaches in the last weeks because I'm really focused on my business now. I had talked to her like maybe 5 months ago in front of a big mall in the south of the city. We went on an instant date, had some juice. She told me about her sexual exploits, which sounded really interesting. Little exaggerated, possibly. But what I gathered from the conversation was that she was into older guys, but she was looking to fuck some older men for money. So we exchanged WhatsApps, but I didn't pursue it. Now, this week, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, she texted me, "Are you still interested in meeting?" So I text back, "I don't have so much money at the moment." She texts me back saying, "What do you mean? I'm not in it for the money." So I said, "Yeah, okay, Friday at 6. Friday came. There was a little back and forth that was a bit weird. But yeah, can I come a little later? Can I come a little later? But then about an hour later than originally appointed, she did show up at the central train station. I picked her up. we took a cab to my place, and I remembered something that John had taught me is don't sit there like an autistic statue, but keep her engaged on the way. So I did that. I kept her engaged in conversation. On the way to me, we went inside. We had a bit of my self-made smoothie, started making out. She scratched me pretty hard with her fingernails and said that she needed to get fucked really hard. So I gave her a little oral. She gave me a little oral. And then I fucked her as hard as I could. After a while, I said, what's the best way for you to come? She said, actually, if you lick me and suck my pussy really hard and intense. So I went down, sucked her pussy really hard and intense. She came. We fucked on as hard as I could. I was beyond happy. She showed me some of her painting art, which is quite impressive. She said she was hungry. I made her some spaghetti. We had some more smoothie. She told me that today, the next day, is her birthday. I said, well, text me when you get home safe. She did. She lives in another town that's about an hour by train. And this morning I sent her a funny birthday gift. And possibly there's more to follow. And possibly not. But here's the ugly, fat, bald German guy, 52 years old.
Yep.
Fucks another 21-year-old. And yeah, that's because of John Elite. You know, after 1.5 years being out on the street, getting non-stop rejected.
Yeah, in 2020, he got rejected because I kicked him out of another program, and he just focused on game during COVID. But after he took Kaizen 2.0 in 2021, he bangs a 21-year-old, he bangs a 25, and now another 21-year-old. What the fuck, man? It's not even like a coincidence. This is a skill. Game is not the answer, guys. And today, that's what I'm going to talk about.
And then take Kaizen once, date, girlfriend.
That's 2019.
That passes. Take another Kaizen, fuck a 21-year-old, fuck a 25-year-old, then do nothing for a while, and fuck another 21-year-old. So if you're still...
I mean, he was like running his own business afterwards because he finally got those lays in. That's all he ever wanted to do is fuck a 20-year-old because his friend, his other friend, who's 6'6", German, who also took Kaizen, he banged a 20-year-old. So he's like, well, how come my friend gets to bang a 20-year-old and I don't? Well, he got a girlfriend in 2019, and now he bangs like 3 women in their 20s. And the first one's 8.5 out of 10 in looks. Second one is 7.6.
On the edge about training with John, well, step over the edge. Just do it.
All right, that's his testimonial. And when you look at the screenshots, oh, what the fuck? You can see this is him. He's not a good-looking guy. He's chubby. He's 5'7". He's overweight. And guess what? He's trained by Johnny Elite. And here's his lay pic. But don't worry, it's censored, so it's fine for YouTube. But however, lately, because of Queefing Casanova, we have to be very careful with these kind of things. So everything's censored. There's a smiley face on her body. It should be fine. But it's not something that Well, YouTube's strict. So let's talk about today's topic. Let's debunk every single theory why you're not getting results whenever you try to buy all these other dating coaches' Daygame product. Like zero results, like zero, zero, zero. But there has to be a reason behind it. I'm going to teach you a couple concepts. That's why I had this sword. It's like a ninja sword, but it's just a practice one. This is a samurai versus ninja game. For ninjas, they're not as strong or as big as samurais. Therefore, our game tactics have to be different. It's like Israeli tactics and also Navy SEAL tactics, because Navy SEALs is not a big unit, but they train over and over and over again. So that's the first concept I'll be talking about. The second concept I'll be talking about, because, training is very, very important. This is what the positive stereotypes with their samurai game doesn't do. Samurais have really huge fucking swords. And with a samurai sword, right? I mean, look how big this fucking thing is. It's huge. And it's really, really hard to use a samurai sword when you're a negative stereotype, because you may not have the actual strength to use something like this. This is what they use as game tactics and emotions, okay? Game tactics and emotions. So therefore, this is not a suitable style for negative stereotypes like this student, because in 2020, he tried to do that. Now let's go through this, okay? Step by step. Okay, my glasses, I don't have, fuck my what? My eyesight is so shit right now. I can barely read this stuff anymore. All right, let's see. Here's some concepts, okay? It's the old man. All right, how about this? I'll just wing it off the top of my head. Let's just start with a new concept called the bridge concept. What the fuck is a bridge concept? So the reason why this old man bangs a 21-year-old, it's very simple. Maybe I can draw it out for you guys. Imagine there's a bridge over here, okay? We just use this up. Fuck. Just watch this, okay? So there's a bridge over here, okay? And let's just say there's like 20 bricks or something, so you can cross over this bridge. And once again, there's no ink. What the fuck? All right, but you can kind of see this is the bridge, if you can see it at all. All right. So in order to cross over and get that laid, just like the 52-year-old man, you have to build exactly 20 pieces of brick. Once the 20 pieces are built, hey, what's up? Then you automatically cross over the bridge, the get laid during COVID-19 Delta variant island. So what happens when you keep focusing on game products? So I made a breakdown over here. For example, when you look over here, I put looks, if you can see it. Hopefully you can see this stuff. Fucking lights, so fucking bright. All right. Yeah, better. Looks is out of 10. That means 10 bricks. Money is out of 5. Status is out of 10. Social skills is 2.5 for bricks. Social calibrations is 2.5 out of 10. Emotional control is 2.5 and game is 2.5. You need 20 out of 35 to build this bridge. Once this bridge is being built, my students gets laid automatically. As you can see with the old man, how did he build this bridge? It's very simple. When you look at his fashion, for example, and for the people that showed up, you just missed his video testimonial. He's wearing elevator shoes to boost the height. He's wearing blazers, which they call try-hard. Apparently, everything is try-hard to some of these people with 3 late testimonials. So that increased a brick and also the shoes. So that moved his looks from like 2 out of 10. I mean, I'm just being generous. I know he doesn't like it when I call him 2 out of 10, but he's like, well, I got laid. I'm 2 out of 10 and I still fucking bang 8.5s who are 21 years old. So fuck you, Don John in Germany. This student, if he just does this full time right now after Kaizen, he'll just urinate all over your no facial expressions face. Fucking 52-year-old man will curb stomp you. You wouldn't stand a chance. I mean, with all that SMV, this guy is getting women way above his look scale. So there's something to this theory. And I'll get into it about the ninja game versus samurai game. All right. So once all these bricks, right? Do you see that? So if game, for example, over here, and emotions, all the people that are positive stereotypes, if they're whitewashed or they're blackwashed, every single one of these motherfuckers will tell you it's all game. The future is game, 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 game. Where does money out? I'll talk about that. Don't worry about that. I'll talk about that. So they always say it's all game and a little bit of emotions. Keeping a girlfriend is emotions or some bullshit, which is not true. Because this student has no emotions whatsoever. He still got a girlfriend. The other students that are engaged, one's a psychopath, the other guy, potential serial killer. One other guy's a narcissist. One's married. I won't say who, but I can show you which testimonials maybe later. But these students have kept the women in their lives and they have no emotions whatsoever. The less emotional they are, the better. Because the, the less emotions they have, the woman's always trying to connect. But she can't frame control him. She can't frame control. So it's not the emoting, because if you're a zombie and you're creepy like R.C. Todd, the more you try to emote your creepiness, the more she gets turned off. Does that make sense? So she's going to get turned off like crazy when you do that. So hold on a second. Computer. See the edge over there? All right. So you want emotional control. And I have 2 supplements here that I always take. Well, there's only one of them. I take an ashwagandha gummy. When I took it, it slows down my speech. It makes me more calm. So therefore, you don't really need more emotions. In order to get that 1 point for the emotions out of the 2.5, by taking ashwagandha, this one makes you more calm. It's gummies. It's delicious. Easier to take because I don't feel like taking pills all the time. You already get 1 point for calming down the nervous system. Isn't that convenient? That's what my students do. So when they're building the bridge, they're building the social calibrations, which is Kaizen body language. Then they're building the social skill flow drill, which the black student who got 2 lays in a row, he's actually using exactly the same thing. And right now he's on a date with a woman way above the look scale of the other 2. So I'm going to see if he's going to close tonight or not. Maybe I should play his testimonial after I make this point. I will do that. I'll just go right to the WhatsApp, find the video, and I'll play it for you. His 2 fuck buddies. 2 women in 1 day. So this debunks the whole volume thing. It debunks the 10% will come out and whatever bullshit that white people try to tell you. So this is 5 points right here, guys. Right there. What the fuck? This is something the industry does not teach you. So therefore, when you're building the bridge, you have an extra 5 pieces plus 1 extra piece by the emotions. That's 6. And how good do you think their game is if their products can't even get a lay testimonial during COVID-19? Their game is not like, 2.5 or maxed out. Their game most likely is just 1 out of 10. So therefore, they start adding emotions. This charm. These Asians are always like, oh, John, but yes, John, but what about charm? Charm is charisma. It's charisma, John. John is charisma and charm. The reason why they think it's charisma and charm is because they're autistic as fuck. When you look at RSD Todd, and he's autistic in his infield, he doesn't know it's autistic. He just thinks by throwing more charm, more confidence, more tactics, it's going to solve everything. And that is not the case. Okay, here's the other student. Okay, Filipino. And also the other Indian student who got 2 lays under my training. And he's 5'5". So he built enough bricks. So here's my point. When you keep focusing on getting their day game products, you're thinking, oh, John, but when I'm building this bridge, right, I'm buying another product and then I'm going to add to a stone here. Then guess what? You buy the same fucking stone over again for another product because they're all zombies. Then you buy another one of these stones for the game category. Then you buy another product. You buy like 10 products. You spend 8 fucking years and the bridge is not complete. Do you guys get it? The bridge has to go from one side to another. One side to another. This is why you're not getting results, because you're ignoring social skills and social calibrations, which got this old man laid. And that's the funny thing. Let's talk about another student. So let's play a testimonial just to prove my point. So do you guys understand now? All this time, the reason why you're not getting any results, or you used to get results before COVID-19, and then it dries up. Like Todd Valentine talking to a woman and her pussy, like fucking sand comes out of it. Oh, vaginal dryness. Because a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. If I were really so wrong, you look at the last student, he got laid from Elite 30 only, not Playbook. Because he has enough stones. He's a black guy. He has 8 fucking stones for the status category. Do you understand that? And being tall and black, he's 5'10". Not exactly the tallest. But man, that's still above 5'9", which is going to be a downhill battle. Shoes, 5'10.5". Don't you get it now? Because he has enough stones for the looks, because afterwards he got a haircut. He got rid of this fro. And he started having a Kanye West kind of goatee, which I told him to do. For the other black student, I told him not to. And guess what happened? He fucking gets laid. It happened so quickly that it caught up to him. But I wasn't surprised, because his looks went from 4 out of 10 to 7 out of 10 or above. And he had the height and all that stuff. I think he got the watch too. That helps with the money category. So I forgot to wear a watch because I want to be here as fast as possible. But even wearing watches like this can add another stone. So there's a 5-stone category. So for a lot of Asians, they always think, oh, if I got a lot of money, then women be... No, you have to display the wealth, okay? If you don't display the wealth, she cannot see it. Therefore, you don't get it. Unless you have an Instagram and you have a lifestyle, you travel a lot. Or you live in Eastern Europe and you're status maxing. You have more money than the locals, even though you say, oh, I don't use money for the game. No, as long as you have more money and you display it in the way you dress, this could add at least 1 or 2 points or stones. Get it? Now you're realizing, shit, you just need 20 stones. Then why isn't people wearing this kind of fucking watch? Are you retarded? Why are people not using this kind of haircut? Are you retarded? Because that's adding stones. This is why the Asians are saying, well, what's wrong with me? The 5 students I kicked out, they somehow did not have the same haircut. It took 5 months for them to get it. And whenever they wear the blazers and stuff, they always fucking take it off. Every fucking time. Because they have low self-esteem. They're literally leeching points away from their looks for the hairstyle. And for the fashion, for the body armor, your ninja fucking armor, your social stealth. They're leeching points away from, because they don't want to wear something like this, because it makes their, their self-esteem. They like to dress like shit because they say, well, what's wrong with me? I thought I was enough, right? The media's fault. They're racist, right? Media makes us look whatever. But one of my other black student, the guy who got 2 fuck buddies, he used to live in China. White people are not racist. They're xenophobic. And when you look on Google, the thing about xenophobia is xenophobia means a fear and dislike of other people's culture. Why would they not be afraid in China? See a black man over there? And what if the black man said the same thing? What's wrong with my fashion? Why can't I dress gangsterish? Well, you're in China. That's not your country. Don't you see that? In America, it's not your country. But what's wrong with me? It's the same thing as a black person going to China as you living in the United States. It's like, I don't want to assimilate. I am enough. Well, you're leeching a lot of fucking points away from the 20 out of 35. You dumb motherfucker. You're taking away points from the looks category. No hairstyle? Shit fucking Asian hairstyle? Guess what? -1 point. Shit fashion. Don't want to wear the blazer, make excuses that you're sweating. Well, guess what? -2 points. Now it's a 0 for money. Don't want to wear elevator shoes, or you just don't want to wear the pants I told you to wear? Guess what? Now you don't fit into their tribe. You're activating her xenophobia from evolutionary psychology. Nobody likes the out tribe. Women do not see me as the out tribe. They don't even remember that I'm even Asian after a while on an instant date. They're like, oh yeah, you're Asian. They forget. And this has happened to my other student recently who finally wore my fashion. When he says to the women, I didn't get tattoos because, most Asians always get tattoos. They said, oh yeah, you're Asian. And I was like, I told you, you see that? By dressing in their tribe, you no longer get xenophobia. So white people are not racist. They are extremely, extremely xenophobia. That's it. Oh, but the media is trying. No, they're xenophobic. You dress like a whitewashed person. You talk like a normal fucking person with social skills. There's no xenophobia. None whatsoever. Same as one of the students I kicked out. 2 of them were from these Asian masculinity forums. So that leaches away. So when you look at the status category, there's plenty of points you can have. Just by being white, you already got 10 points. Just by being white in Daygame. And if you look like a black person, just like my black students, you get 8 points just by being blackwashed. Even if you're not black. Don't you get it? If you look like a certain race, you get the SMV of a certain race. It's that fucking simple. So it changes in social skills and social calibrations. You think these fucking zombie dating coaches, these super zombies, knows anything about social skills? They can barely talk properly. And look at Todd. It's just one fucking game tactic after another. Completely hunching in his infield like this. Hunch Valentine. What the fuck is that gonna do? This old man used to train under Todd V. Got no results. So that's why when he heard me criticizing Todd V, he came to me immediately. He was an RC victim too. Let's hear the black student's testimonial. He's on a date right now, so let's see. If I can't find it, then I can always All right. But you guys get my point. Let me just open. I didn't plan for any of this today. If I don't make the videos like here, I'm not gonna do it. All right. I have sent the video testimonials to my video editor, so they are being edited right now, being censored at this very moment. So let's start with the first one. All right. Although it's kind of quiet, let's hear the one about the fuck buddies. I'm gonna use VLC player. I'm gonna play it over here. This is brand new. You guys never heard this before.
Kind of update on my progression working with John. Last time I made a video about how his system allowed me to get 2 girls in the same day and basically close the deal one after another. This time I would like to give you some little fresh update on the situation with those girls, since I was allowed, following system, to get 2 fuck buddies. Thing is, I used to do things my way, and with the COVID, my way just stopped working. So this time, John gave me a step-by-step process that I had to follow to the T without changing anything. And the proof is in the pudding. I had 3 girls in the rotation, and with 2 of them, I followed the process. But with the 3rd one, I did not. Push comes to shove, the 3rd one just blocked me randomly yesterday. But the 2 others are now my fuck buddies, and they are blowing my phone all the time. So it goes to show that, hi everyone.
The reason why he lost the first fuck buddy was because he did it his way. Before, he always had his own version of what was truth or not. And then I taught him the second time. And he says, wait, John, is it that easy? It's that easy. You're like, what the fuck? It can't be that easy. I thought it was going to be difficult to get a fuck buddy. I have to wait until she texts back. Then I have to go through this whole elaborate sequence. And I was like, fuck no. You just make it difficult. And then when he did it my way, he kept 2 fuck buddies. He fucked both the women in the same day. I actually updated testimonial on the screenshots or a thumbnail on YouTube in the description for 2 videos back. Don't you see? My stuff works. Their stuff does not work. Their products do not work because you're just focusing on the same fucking brick. So let's hear the second part of this testimonial. VLC.
My phone all the time. So it goes to show that the proof is in the pudding. If you follow the process and you follow the steps it gives you, you will get the results that you are looking for. I am still amazed after this long in the game to still find someone with such a deep understanding and a sense of being able to break down things to such a simple level, because if you know game is fucking complex. Anyway, I wanted to thank...
It doesn't have to be complex like Todd V, always using tactics. It doesn't have to be complex. Sometimes when you're scientific, it can be very simple. This is a process they all go through. I'm at 492 late poll testimonials. I think it's 493 because one of the students on YouTube Live, Drizzy, whatever his name is, he did not make me a video testimonial. But however, for him, he shows up here once in a while. I still screenshotted that one. He got 2 lays from my product. This guy got laid from Elite 30 from Hard Case to Hero. Once in a while, I help him a little bit here and there. I give him some tips. He could not really afford it. I have the right to do that. Maybe once in a while, every 1 or 2 years, I pick a student that he put everything into the program. When he was living in China, it cost a lot of money because he didn't make much money because of discrimination, the xenophobia that he has experienced from the Chinese. It was hard for him to get a job. But whatever money he had, he put every last fucking dollar into my program. He talked to me for 3 months and says, I don't want to ask for free advice. He wanted to know. And he says, I respect you, John. What you're saying makes a lot of sense. I've been in the game for 15 years. I was like, yeah, I've been in the game for 20. Todd V, 21 years, which he has 3 late testimonials. And even self-proclaimed high late count guy who makes fun of him has 3 late testimonials for Daygame. 3. What the fuck? What do they know? Anyways, but I digress. My point was, when he spent every last dollar, I think he got a lay or 2 from the self-proclaimed high late count guy course for night game. But then he got no more results during COVID-19 because the bricks don't match up. The mindsets don't match up. The skill set no longer works, just like with the other Indian student. Then after he trained with me, then this happened. Right now he's up to 3 lays, and 2 of them came out at the same time. Of course, on the same day, within hours apart. But some people are saying, John, because he copied and pasted your text, that does not count. No, it fucking counts. It counts. Even if he copy and pasted my text, he was gonna, even if I instructed him to, he would have to do it anyways. So let's continue with the second one.
Really, really from the deepest of my heart, John Elite. And I would like to advise you, if you are still hesitant or if you are planning to get any kind of training, do not get anything or anyone else than John. You will not regret it. See you guys.
All right. So there we have it. But that's the first concept. What's up, player? No, you get annoyed because that's a lot of questions, but I'm just curious, that makes a good student. What makes me a really good student? So is it cool if I ask more questions? Whatever. Anyways, let's continue. There's a lot of things to get through. So now that you know about the bridge concept, Do you guys understand now? Because if you keep focusing on the game bridge, which is 2.5 points, their game's only 1 out of 10 at most. And their emotions are 1 out of 10. That's like 2 points. 2 points can never beat 6 points. And 6 points, when you take ashwagandha and adrenal stress stuff, that's 6 points versus 2. That's six extra fucking bricks that you need to cross over to the 20 out of 35 bridge. So now you realize, for a lot of you, you've been doing things wrong. My students, do they need big muscles? No. They just need a V-shaped body. Just a V-shape. That's it. That's really all my students work on. They don't have any muscle definition, but their body is like very V-shaped. And that's what the women looks at. They use elevator shoes. They dress like blazers. I mean, what are you guys doing? You know, why are you dressing like shit? Why just wearing a t-shirt? They do that when they have muscles. But I'm just saying, what happens in the fall? What happens in the winter when you cannot wear a t-shirt? Now you get it. So they go blackwashed. Or else their students don't get any results. And they get funneled to a boot camp because their products don't work. So all these products called the shiny object syndrome, the fear of missing out that you buy from other day game coaches, never works. Have you noticed that? 0 late testimonials. So they have to put their boot camp shit into the products because it doesn't fucking work. Because there's only one brick. That's one fucking brick. Don't you get it? Every fucking product you buy from other dating coaches is just adding the same 1 or 2 bricks. Even if their game was 2 or 1.5, you're adding the same fucking brick. It's just the same fucking push pulls, the same challenging, the same pole talk, the same fucking self-amusement, the same cocky funny shit, the same fucking tactics. Every fucking time. The same statements, the same code reads, the same fucking openers. Just repackage bullshit. Autistic shit, like Todd V shit. Sounds autistic as fuck. How are you supposed to get results when you listen to this autistic zombie shit? While my students here is learning how to do the social skill flow drill, this black person is on a date, and so is the Indian person. The Indian guy did not get any lays from self-proclaimed high lay count guys, 8-week mentorship, because he's fucking like, he's a 5'5" little midget. Like, no offense to midgets, but he's a short little fuck. I'm already short. He's like here, right? Hey, how's it going? Okay, I get it. So you're a short guy, but you need to play a different kind of game, which I'll get into right now. It's called the ninja game. So I think we made a lot. Okay, I talked about a lot of the points, but let's just talk about one more thing, the strategy. Every single time a ninja strategy, okay, ninja sword. Ninjas always start with social skills, social calibrations from Elite 30 or Kaizen, just like the old man. They always sneak around to emotional control and lastly, game. My students do not use that much game. I know that's fucking crazy because the other way for the samurai always uses game first and they go to emotions. But if they hunch like crazy, their emotions don't mean shit. So they emote. That's 2 points. And when they're whitewashing and blackwash, they already have like a 10 out of 10 fucking SMV. And then they do a little bit of body language, but they always hunch. They always look like this and they're robotic. Look at Hunch Valentine. And they have no social skills when you look at their infields. All of them. For other day game coaches, they sound like autistic robots. This is why the Asians are like, what charm? It's charisma, right? The charm. You see all this confidence and stuff from Todd V, and you see it from all the white dating coaches where nothing happens in their fucking infield. They're just walking a woman home, and they call it a poo infield. Like poo, like shit's coming over it. Poo. Like, what the fuck? So ever since K-pop blew up, right? What country do you see as the most Asian? These are stupid questions. All right. So my point is this. I was having a discussion in the last video with another nice Asian gentleman. And we later found out it's just xenophobia. That's all it is. Not racism. And he realized he has to make some changes to the fashion and maybe like assimilate because this is not his country. So let's continue. So do you see the strategy? The ninja strategy, ninjas are kind of like Navy SEALs, the modern day ninjas. So is the Israeli army. They're not the strong people. It takes a lot of strength to wield a sword. It really takes a lot of strength. You know, this thing is really heavy. And the reason why I can hold it with one hand is because I'm used to it. But for most people, this is so fucking heavy. It's really hard to swing. But I can handle it. Be careful, eh? So be very, very careful. This thing, treat it like a loaded gun. So it's always the samurai strategy. It's different. So let's talk about it. The samurai strategy, it's always using more strength. Very similar to positive stereotype game, where they mainly focus on game. And then some emoting. So if you're already stats maxing, you have a race advantage, or your perceived race is higher. You have a height advantage. You're above 5'9". They just focus on tactics. And when I was younger, I played this game called Street Fighter Turbo or something on a Super Nintendo. My parents bought me a Nintendo and Super Nintendo. You're like, holy fuck, how old are you, John? Doesn't matter. But the point is this. You can adjust the level of difficulty that you're playing against the computer. For most of these guys, if they're blackwash or whitewash, they're actually playing on the lowest difficulty or the second lowest. So when they beat up the computer, they pretend to be making up tactics. So they'll be telling you this bullshit. Oh, whenever you reach a point of non-compliance, then you're stuck. Then you gotta use the game, which is like fucking 1 point, to get over it. That's complete bullshit. Because when you have social skills and social calibrations, you get indicators of alpha body language, like the 52-year-old man. And you also have indicators of social skills. You have both of them. That is like an automatic lockpick. If they're trying to pick the lock, in that case, at that non-compliance part, using game, if they use social skills and social calibrations, it smashes through the lock with the automatic lockpick. Now you guys are realizing this is why there's 20 bricks. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? You're just buying the same courses with the same fucking game brick. You're not building the bridge. 20 out of 35. You're not building the bridge. So stop listening to the samurai strategy. They're just making up bullshit tactics, and they're delusional sociopaths. So they're like, oh, but that's how you do it, right? I'm 100% sure it's more game. The future is game. Oh yeah, I mean, very bleak future, because a lot of these guys are using game just like the 52-year-old student. He failed in 2020. And here's the funny thing. For the people that just showed up, here's the old man. He banged another 21-year-old. Right here, the sensors, it'll be fine, but you have to be very careful these days with that. Because the Queefman Casanova, they're taking down his shit. Country, not sure geographic. San Francisco Bay Area, part of LA, maybe Middle Eastern, a lot of Asians, regardless. Asian males went from Northern Matcha. Yeah. Maybe not San Francisco, but California, maybe. Toronto, we'll have some. Maybe some parts of Europe, like Poland. They have a lot of Vietnamese there. In Australia. Places like these kind of places, you might see a little bit here and there. Maybe not Australia. It's like a lot of Asians there. Most of the women are Asians. Except in Brisbane, mate. Guy dynamite. It's like Brisbane and like. So that's just the thing. There are some areas, but there are not a lot of Asian males and white females, especially not in Vancouver. It's very rare. But Toronto, more. So let's continue. So if you're shorter and you don't have enough bricks to build a bridge, you have to max out your social calibrations and social skills instead to get that 5 points to compensate. These samurai dating coaches would tell you that they're using social skills. But in reality, they have only 0 or 1 token Asian for their late testimonials. And the most they ever had, in Queef and Casanova had 7, ABCs had 6. Another Sir Lincoln dating coach has 5. Maybe he's 4, but I just put 5 to be nice. That's it. That's game. There's just not enough bricks. That's game. That's what happens when you focus on game emotions. Most Asians cannot even move their fucking face, and most Asians cannot change their tonality for the voice. So when you think about it, that's why it doesn't work. So the shiny object syndrome is fucking you up. Rebuilding the same bricks over and over again. So never ever use the stupid fucking samurai game. This is why they keep talking about their game tactics. Oh yeah, this is my tactics. You just do this and you go 3-second rule. Don't try too hard. Whatever they say is all for samurais. It's all for samurais. And that's what people don't realize. It's all for samurais. Let's listen to another late testimonial. All right. I got so many. How about let's listen to the short little student that used to be self-proclaimed high late count guy student. Because he was playing a ninja game. He had to change everything. All the things that he learned. How to close on Tinder, how to do it in a social circle group, all the dating stuff, all the bedroom stuff. None of it worked for him. I had to change his fashion and build his bricks. I had to get him heel lifts or tell him to get it. You know, he changed fashion, hairstyle. All the tactics had to be different. It had to be a ninja tactics. The stuff I teach is a ninja game. I've noticed this. We cannot go 2 days without seeing Asian female. Yeah, that's correct. I see everywhere. So, Asian male. Dude has a hot non-Asian women. Okay. Yeah, it's very rare, but you know, that's the problem because Asians think they're enough. They don't want to be whitewashed and assimilate. It's like my black student in China, and they get xenophobic. It's just xenophobia, guys. All the hate crimes that you've experienced, all the times that they blame you for COVID, has 100% to do with xenophobia. They are not racist. My students, when they dress like this, white people start hanging around with them, wants to talk to them, wants to be friends with them. They can't wait to have an Asian person in an all-white area. They want to have an Asian friend too, a token Asian. So, and that's what mind fucks them. So these guys from Asian masculinity, 2 of the 5 students that were shit that I kicked out were from there. Do you know half the students I've taught from this forum group have gotten laid under my training? They don't give me credit. They say, John's too tough as a dating coach. You can't just take the good and ignore the bad. If that's the bad or whatever you call, because Asians get triggered. All the other ethnicities, like Indians, they don't give a fuck when I yell at them, except for one. Most don't care. For some reason, the Asians are triggered because they have low self-esteem and high fucking ego. That one race, Asians, across many ethnicities, always gets triggered. They're the only race of all of my students that gets triggered. It's like, oh no, I can't yell at me. It's like, Tiger, fuck you. The other students are fine. I mean, I even yell at the white students. It's not just you. If you're a shit student, you get yelled at more. If you're a good student, you don't. If you're a zombie, you get yelled at more. All right, let's listen to this Indian testimonial.
One of John Oates' students. I am Indian American. I am 5'5", and I'm from the United States.
Okay.
I am Indian American. I am 5'5", and I'm from the United States. John Elite was talking about me in his last video. I took self-proclaimed high leg counts 8-week mentorship, and I got no results from it. He then tried to upsell me with another mentorship, which is 6 months, and it's $1,500 a month. I didn't do that though. He had other students that didn't get results, and a lot of his students wanted a refund. This is 100% true at the time. I also took a bootcamp with RSD Tyler. That was a complete joke. He would have 12 students on the bootcamp with only 3 instructors. Tyler took 6 students and would try and approach with them, even though it was supposed to be a 3 student to 1 instructor ratio. Tyler didn't give much instruction. He would be late to the boot camp with no excuse, and
Oops. Fuck. I pressed the wrong button when this thing fell. Hopefully this thing still works. Come on. Oh, there. Hopefully this. Oh, for fuck's sakes. It had to happen now. Let's just try again.
I am one of John Elite's
Oh,
students,
there it is.
RSD Tyler. That was a complete joke. I have 12 students on the bootcamp with only 3 instructors. Tyler took 6 students and would try and approach with them, even though it was supposed to be a 3 student to 1 instructor ratio. Tyler didn't give much instruction. He would be late to the bootcamp with no excuse, and he wouldn't give much instruction. He would just be doing mostly his own thing most of the time, and yeah, not really helping the students much, if at all. And after the bootcamp, I talked to the other students. Not one person said that the bootcamp was worth it, and not any of them said they would take another bootcamp with RSD. And a lot of people said they could do the same thing by themselves. And then I went to John Elite because a lot of his students got results, and I saw that he had a lot of testimonials with them getting results. John, he told me to shave the sides of my beard. He picked a specific pair of pants, and he told me to get a haircut of his choice. And with his instructions and me following his rules, I was able to get a lay in 9 days of the program, and then also a lay in 11 days of the program. And one of the lays was through online game, and another lay was through a social circle gathering. If you are an Asian or a minority, I highly recommend John's training. He has helped a lot of minorities, and he can help you out too. Thank you for listening.
All right,
Hi,
cool.
I am one of John Elite's students.
All right. Do you guys get the point? 5'5", short Indian. It wouldn't work. But was this the only student that also got courses or whatever from self-proclaimed Hanaleko guy? There's another 5'7", bald Middle Eastern guy who basically got no lays whatsoever. Only one girlfriend over like 6 or 7. I don't know how many years. That's a long time. He bought every RSD course out there. And he was from this Asian masculinity form too. So he's one of the students that did get laid from it. Many of them got laid from it. In fact, so many got laid. That's kind of fucked up. Maybe for RSD, it helped them get that one brick, which is just doing more approaches, taking more action. But that's about it. That's the only thing that they learn. Here's...
What's up, guys? I'm here to give my full review and testimonial to John Elite and his program and his coaching. But let me just introduce myself. I'm a Middle Eastern dude that lives in Europe. I've been doing it all my life. And I'm also a victim for RSD, Todd Valentine, Matt Oxon, Jupiter Lifestyle.
Hey, what's up?
You name it. So before this guy...
For shizzle, my Enzo. Long time no see.
For like 5 or 6 years with actually getting 0 results. And then, you know, I was looking on different internet forums and stuff like that to find someone a new coach. Then I saw like John Elite and his program and his coaching getting hated by everybody.
Oh yeah, at the time there was like the London student was getting like so many fuck buddies in a row. Everyone was just getting jealous. So that's why there was like a commotion everywhere. Like, and once again, like it's all popping up like popcorn. So many of the students are getting results again. Same shit.
At the beginning I was skeptical too, you know. Then I was actually given a chance. I emailed him. I talked with him. And I think he was a nice dude, you know. Also possible. Yeah. So I was like giving him a shot, you know. They actually answered me. They actually helped me out. So I bought Elite 13 and this code.
So once again, Elite 30, he's using the same bricks, social skills and social calibrations, because he had a social circle before, which he got friend zone with. He knew how to do the social skill flow drill because he had social skills. So I didn't have to teach him that much. However, he had to learn the body language, and the women started gaming him in his social circle and everywhere. He practiced 16 fucking hours a day like a ninja. Ninjas have to level up. Every single time you hear advice from a samurai, a fucking samurai, they'll tell you, just go out there and approach more. Because they don't need to have perfect body language. They don't need to level up. And Navy SEALs, they level up. 75% of the time, 25% of the time, they're out there on missions fighting. Let that sink in. Israelis are always leveling up until they need to fight a war. These guys don't need to level up as much. They just go out there to just fucking spam approach and play a numbers game, use game minute tactics, because this is what people don't want to hear. They're dropping off. This is the truth. Nobody wants to hear this shit, that you've been using the wrong... Okay, I'm going to say it very clearly. You have been using the wrong motherfucking style. If you just play ninja game, even if you're a positive stereotype, like my other students, you get results back in like nonstop. I know this testimonial is a little bit older, but you get the point.
And after being 1 week inside this program, I actually got laid with a blonde girl from my social circle, and had 3 more days to go.
Yeah, then he fucks another, like, he fingers another woman because he could not get it up. And then he's about to fuck a model, and I told him not to do it because her boyfriend's in jail and she's playing him to get him in the fight. And they stab him 3 times in the chest. But luckily, it did not go through his jacket. Or it went through his jacket, but not through his chest. And he left that part of Europe. But regardless, you guys see what I'm saying here? Social skills and social calibrations. The old man got laid through Elite 30. So some people have unconscious competence, but they're too stupid to understand why they're being successful. So they say, do it like me. It won't translate. It is possible that they say something like that, or they're delusional. I think what they're trying to say is that they have no awareness that they're positive stereotypes. They have no awareness because they're value denier sociopaths. They always deny their fucking value. Every time. Have you noticed that? It's all my game. It's just the game's the future. It's all my game. It's just game's the answer. Game. The 2.5 game. That's the difference. The cycles, like inner circle. They know it. It's like, oh, of course, social skill. Yeah, whatever. The other guys, no, it's all my game. The woman says she was not initially into my race. It doesn't matter. Because that's going to get into my next point, the octopus theory. That will explain everything. The results are all that matter. You can may have a beautiful swing, but you cannot connect with the ball, or all not true. Coaches have few programs, reason being why teachers work. Exactly. So let's talk about the last theory that will make all of these points make sense. All right? It's called the octopus theory. So how does it work? It connects with the brick. It connects with the bricks. And this is all I'm going to say, and I'm going to end the call because tomorrow I have a student to teach. So what's an octopus theory? So imagine that women have 8 arms when she's around you. She can see through the bricks. And this is what they say. Oh, women have gray matter. Therefore, never try to be somebody else you're not, right? But here's the point. The women cannot see through everything. They cannot, and I'll explain it. This is going to blow your mind. This is going to blow your mind because how does this old man gets laid like 3 times in a row after Kaizen? First week of Kaizen, 1 week after his program, and now he gets another lay. 21-year-old, 25, 21. How is that possible? Because the octopus theory. So imagine women have 8 arms like this, right? When they're near you, women always looks up and down at you like this. So when you first approach, what are they doing? Evolutionary psychology, they're sizing you up. Are you a friend or are you a foe? Are you a danger or you're a friend? Or, at least somebody who's safe to be around. In tribe or out tribe. So when the woman looks up and down in the beginning when you talk to her, and you got a guy like Todd V, hey, how's it going? I'm hunching. I'm a black shirt. Adorable. Well, I mean, what the fuck? Just get positive reactions, but not positive compliance. Guy's a pussy dryer. So if it's octopus, that means there's 8 categories. So what are the 8 categories for octopus? Right here. Looks, money, status, social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and game. Okay, this is not exactly 8, it's 7. But with women can see your indicators of social skills and your indicators of social calibrations. Now you're realizing something. How did some of these students that were so fucking autistic are able to get this kind of results? Especially when they're negative stereotypes. This is not the only old man's testimonial. There's just too many. I have to put them all together since they're sent in pieces. But there is just so many fucking testimonials. How the fuck did this happen? Kaizen first lay, there's just too many pieces. So I won't play this one. In the future, you'll see all his testimonials. How about his 25-year-old lay? I think that's a good one to play. Let's listen to it. This is the second lay in Kaizen 2.0.
This is my first week after the second round of...
Listen to how he's talking. He's no longer talking fast. Most of the students that got kicked out, the 5 I kicked out, they talk as fast as they can. Excuse me, real quick, I have a question. I was looking for, and they're trying to be charming, and they're trying to be charismatic. Oh, I was looking for a place called Zara. Do you know what I can find? Oh, okay. By the way, I know something else about you right now. I've noticed you are, well, this, that, and they stick out their chest. They try to be confident. If they were truthful about that height, race, money matters, they would bar a lot sucker cough students. And this is why I have the emphasis on game and theory. Game is what makes the most money, because the reason why the super zombies love game, because they're autistic. If you look at Todd V's comments for his latest infield, it's the most cringeworthy infield. It is just exactly identical to all the other zombies out there. If you look at it, you look at the comment section. What do they say? Todd is so good at game. Half of them says Todd is like so good, because this is the problem. The reason why they like game is because they cannot do the social skill flow drill. They can't do the body language. They're lazy, fucking autistic, sociopathic zombies. They're low functioning people. This is why game seems like a shortcut. But now we realize that's completely debunked. You need to upgrade your SMV chart because tall black men who are decent looking above 10 on these days. Well, not exactly, because I had 2 other tall black students and they needed to go through the social calibrations and social skills to get that lay. So look at my last 2 lay testimonials. I think they're both black students. So they need to make some changes. It wasn't like 10 out of 10. It is still 8 out of 10, but it's when they're blackwash and they're confident. We'll talk about that. I still say it's 8 out of 10. Still 8 out of 10. But I had other students during COVID-19 who were tall and stuff. A lot of them, because they weren't getting results, it's because they start like this. They always start with game and then emoting and then body language and fuck. They don't even use this one. When you reverse it this order, they automatically get laid with their 8 out of 10 perceived natural status, some confidence in the emotions. And that's the problem with these zombies. They love to talk fast. It leeches from all the other points, because when you talk as fast as you can. Hey, excuse me real quick. I have a question. And the old man used to talk quick too. You know that? He used to talk quick, but listen to him now. He's talking slower. So when she has these octopus arms and she hears that for his emotions, the category, she starts to see that this guy is not only chill like a natural. This guy has indicators of social skills. This guy's indicators of social calibrations. That's how this woman got wet and it fucked him. This 21-year-old. Again, another 21. He banged 2 21-year-olds and 125, even at 52 and old. Because the octopus arms, she doesn't know what she likes until it's in front of her. She doesn't know what she likes until it's in front of her. That's the thing. That means some of these students that are very autistic, who went through Elite 30, the 30-day challenge, they are able to how not to be autistic can heal somehow relationship normal life. Okay, and talk because you autistic as fuck. Prefer. I think Elite 30, right, is rebuilding your social calibrations, and so is Kaizen. These two courses can reduce the physical autism. So this is an autism reduction. So this debunks the whole idea of self-proclaimed highly account guy saying, "Oh, women have gray matter. You should never pretend or be somebody you're not because women will see through it." But he's talking from a samurai game. If you look from a ninja game, these guys, like this guy, has no fucking SMV for this bald, fat, 52-year-old student. They're not enough. They can't just be like, "I am enough" in the approach, because they'll get rejected every time. It's either drown or not drown. So it's a 20 out of 35 bricks. He needed to build a bridge to get over that lane. That's what they don't realize. And this is what people don't want to hear. That's why they're dropping off. The old man, as soon as he talks, within 30 seconds, perfect body language, takes 21 fucking days to get it down. 21 days. You guys don't want to do it. You just want to go out there with game and just reinforce bad habits. Just the next game product, the same fucking brick on the bridge, goes nowhere. More game, John. So it's not about game tactics. The more gamey you are, the more tactics. The more the octopus arm sees you as being the out tribe. Well, you have one for here, you're missing one for social skills. They're like, "Oh, guys are AG, like Charisma King. They're charming. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you ever seen a white dating coach open, approach, insta-date, pull back home in sex in Daygame? Not night game. Not cold approach equals like, oh, cold approach equals like they're both cold approach. Like you can't lump them together. When was the last time you saw a white dating coach actually open to close? Doesn't exist. Only one person did it. Alpha Man Training. But he's in jail for rape charge. But nobody else, not a single white dating coach, has been able to replicate that. So who gives a fuck about all their so-called proof, which is evidence in their pics? They're just standing next to women in a club or using seeking arrangements, lead gen. And they're like, "There's my proof," right? That's not proof. That's called evidence. And you don't see it from beginning to end because you don't know what happened. I think you can practice No, you cannot. You cannot. You have to take Elite 30 and you got to practice every single day. So for the other students, the 5 that kicked out, all they ever did was thinking lay. Every approach, lay, John, lay. It's like grabbing a fucking basketball and just going, lay, throwing at the hoop as hard as they can. Lay. They don't even work on the skill set. I agree. You need to correct yourself in real time. You need to do drills. For example, let's say you have a very bad voice. You can work on drills. You have to level up like a ninja. This is why the ninja game is different from the samurai game. Samurais do not level up. They just have to SMV it with a huge fucking sword saying, "Look at me, I'm a samurai." Whoosh, right? "I'm a samurai. I can just do this, right? Just do that. Use this tactic." No, but ninjas, however, are different. Ninjas, however, have to level up. They have to practice all day until their mission. They have to practice and practice and practice thousands of times extra compared to the fucking samurai. And that shows up for the old man, for his body language after Kaizen. Well, anyone can claim anything until we see proof. Like, I would say there's no proof. I mean, getting it without going on dates these days, just FaceTime. Just FaceTime a couple. Exactly. So they find you attractive, you're confident, right? You just have enough points. So you're over the line. Anyone can claim anything, but I've never seen a single fucking open and close. If they say 100 pull-in fields, I say 100 tall white man walks a woman into a room. What happens after? Who the fuck knows? Are you guys getting the point? So for the octopus arms, for the old man, they had to see these indicators of social skills and indicators of social calibrations. So that took 30 days to build that. That took 30 days. And let's say, TJ, for example, that you wanted to improve your vocal abilities. Let's just say you were not good. You can practice at home over and over, one piece at a time. Because it takes 21 days to develop a habit, a neural pathway. That's how the brain works. This is why a lot of the RSD zombies don't get any results. Because they always think game is a shortcut. They're always thinking about the fucking samurai sword. Oh, fuck. Okay. They always think about the samurai sword. They're always thinking about tactics. They never develop the skills. So let's debunk some of these concepts. Because women can actually see your value. What supplements exactly? Okay. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that. Yeah, exactly. Someone needs to point it out, but that's just the beginning of your skill. You go from unconscious incompetence, where you have no fucking clue what your mistakes are, just like Todd V when you saw his infield. Then you go from conscious incompetence. Conscious incompetence. What I mean by that is you start to realize, because you Skype with me, let's say hypothetically, I can point out all your mistakes. I can see stuff that they cannot analyze. Johnny Lee has the best analysis in the world. My students are getting laid after one Skype. Over and over. What does that tell you? Who the fuck can do that without a bootcamp? Nobody, except me. Nobody. Are you guys getting my point here? The point is, samurai game versus ninja game. I think this is something big. For a lot of you guys, you've never heard this concept. So every fucking thing you learn from their course, the samurai game, never fucking works for you. Ever. You think it worked for this 5 foot fucking like 7 student or the Indian student who were in 5'7" Middle Eastern student? No.
Kaizen training with John Elite. And it worked again. After the first week of training, I had already pulled and had sex with a 21-year-old. She said she was 21. She was certainly under 30. Who was a clear 8.5 in looks.
See, the difference is I actually show my students women. You know, you think these other coaches, when the student says, oh, I banged an 8.5, they didn't fucking bang an 8.5. Oh, this student is showing it. He's showing the lay pics. Their student has no proof. And most likely on Tinder, they're banging women on their own look scale. It's just filtering them out. Try not to be try hard. Get her on WhatsApp quickly. There are a few things I'll optimize. You know, because I have the 6 algorithms for Instagram secrets that I teach my students. They use that. You can use it in WhatsApp too. And it'll create conversion. But they'll say stupid shit like, oh, a woman may not like one of your pictures, therefore it'll disqualify you. That's true. But however, if there's 6 algorithms and it converts her, that one thing that she may not like is the fix. And the other one is the flank in military strategy. Fix means that she's hooked on one part and the other one's attack on the side. I had one of his old students, a Chinese student, that pumped his text game through my 6 algorithms. I taught this guy in the boot camp. He got 59 lays in a row. Plus, I teach him how to close in the bedroom. He joined the inner circle. And he learned this new style of game called fire style, which is more direct. Not in direct compliments, but, you know, more of aggression kind of game, like my Pakistani mentor. But yeah, when he mixed technologies with mine, he becomes like way more optimized. Just like the other 5'5" Indian student gained no results. Mix it with my technology, then. Let's see. True rules. Yeah, for shizzle. 2001 OG. That's when I started in university. 2001. I went through every fucking game style, and I know what they teach. And I can tell you that this is only a one brick. That's the secret. I just kept focusing on that one fucking brick over and over. That's not the answer. You need to focus on everything else. Because a woman's like an octopus. To hide the autism, one must train like a ninja. Do the 30-day challenge from Elite 30. Or do Kaizen like this student. You have to rebuild your habits. You can't just will it away. By building the habits, you hide the autism. The women cannot see through it. Do you remember my other student who was going to kill himself, the London student? He had to go through the 2 weeks of me yelling at him for the social skill flow drill. 2 fucking weeks. And he could have said John was too mean. John was not being nice, but he realized that's the only way he got to the end zone. He banged women much harder than self-proclaimed highly kind guy's girlfriend. This is a fact. We can put the pictures side by side. These are his girlfriend, and he fucked the sister of that girlfriend. They're both professional models. That's their occupation. That's how hot they are. Professional. It's not some Instagram model shit. Here's a guy who could not even get laid, and about to kill himself using Todd V's game in London Daygame. Then comes train under me. I'll play his testimonials. You have not heard it before. If I were to post a late testimonial, I could post one every single few days until next year. I will not run out. I will not run out. You guys have not seen anything yet. Black pill is the truth. Is truth take what's useful, leave what's... No, black pill is bullshit. They're not really true at all. They're just half truth. They're sociopaths. It's because their emotions are fucked. They're fast talking, hunching motherfuckers who have no social skills. So they always focus on game. Since they're hunching, they have narrow shoulders. Black pill is like, they're all narrow shoulders. That's why they're fucked. They dress like shit. So they're not using any of the advantages. They're almost like anti-bricks for the bridge. So fuck black pill. Black pill is not the truth. There's no truth in it. They're all half truth. No different than Asian masculinity. There's sociopaths that have opinions as facts. But when you're longer, what girls that have a relationship, kids are longer, just you. They don't care. They don't care. I'm not in denial. Hey, black pill, how many times have you gotten another person in your group laid with your theories? How many? 0. How many of the people have I gotten laid? Like I have 492 late poll testimonials. You guys have to get past 500 this year. My students. So I want to say that fuck you, black pill. You can't even get one of your own late because your theories are broken. And this old man over here, that he's bald, 5'7", he has no jawline. You see that? Look at his jaw, black pill. There's no jaw. So your jaw theory is bullshit. Look at him, no jawline. Hold on. See? He has no jaw. It's just a fat fucking chubby neck. He had no fucking ridge here. So how the fuck is your theories right? It's not no. You're right about choosing signals. Most of the girls do have boyfriends. Yeah, exactly. Everything I say is real, Millard. Everything. And you always find out. It's proof-based. There's no proof. No, it's called it's not proof-based. It's what they call black pill always does this. Because of this, they always make assumptions. So they always throw this assumption in front of you and say, argue with it. It's called a straw man's argument. Oh, because the data from Tinder is equal to this, therefore women are more this and that because of like they just, and then they say argue with it. They're no different than Asian masculinity, which is says all white people are racist. You have the same hardware in the brain. Same fucking shit. You think you're right, but you're not because you guys are autistic. You guys cannot pass. This is what's hurting you guys because I'm talking about the octopus theory. You guys cannot pass the octopus theory because you're drying her pussy. Let me ask you a question. How many people from black pill have a wide shoulders? None of you. You all have narrow shoulders like a girl. That's one thing. Second of all, how many of you hunch? All of you. So in real time, The women can see your value. So even if you had the perfect approach, and when you try and get a phone number closed or Insta date and you start to choke, you freeze up. Guess what happens? Your points go down. So whatever you had for the body language, 2.5, let's say it was perfect, but you start choking when it comes to the Insta date or phone number close because you get flaked on. So you start sounding scared. Guess what? That point in real time is not fixed. This is what Black Pill does not understand. That 2.5 point goes down to 0. When you talk faster, like the zombies, your emotions category goes to 0. It even leeches from your looks. I had a student who was taking Kaizen. He quit. He looks like a dating coach. He's 6'3.5". For Black Pill, they'll be like, "Oh, that guy's tall as hell, right?" It's like he looks like a Chad. He does. He perfect jawline, very handsome. He's like 9.1 out of 10. But he talks super fast. Autism. So it didn't work. And he quit. Out of nowhere, I cannot get back to him. I was like, fuck. Thin-skinned Aspies. A lot of you guys are autistic sociopaths. Same with Asian masculinity and red pill, all these fucking movements. Every movement is just mental illness. John keeps speaking the truth. I saw your post about don't be idiot, piss off the Black Pill forum. Nobody gives a shit what you guys think. Until your Black Pill forum can get one of you laid in the forum instead of crashing your fucking trucks into women, then I don't give a fuck what you think. Until you can actually get one person laid in your own forum. And none of you have been able to do it. So shut the fuck up. Because I'll just keep posting laid testimonials over and over. Even my London student used to believe in Black Pill. And he got no lays. He's 6 foot tall or 6'1". We'll go to his testimonial afterwards. Let's finish this old man's testimonial to debunk your fucking theories with no fucking jawline whatsoever. This old man. I mean, you must really be pissed off to see a fucking, what you call manlet, 5'7", bald, fuck, would you probably tell him to kill himself, banging a 21-year-old who's 8.5 out of 10. I have pics. I have his lay pics. I have lay videos. He got a girlfriend before that, above his look scale. He bangs a 25-year-old. I have their pics, the lay pics, lay videos, lay audio. And the 21-year-old, I have all the evidence. He completely debunks every fucking one of your beliefs. Get off my channel. He's tall, right? So Black Pill here. This student's 5'7", you fucking idiot. He's 5'7". He's my height. He's short. What does that make sense to you? You dumb motherfucker. It's like it bounces off your. He's 5'7", this guy. Oh, he must be tall. No, his friend was tall and his friend was balding. He banged a 20-year-old with a receding hairline, the Norwood, as you guys call it. I understand your fucking philosophy is bullshit. It's just as bad as the Asians blaming the white people in the media when xenophobia. Except in this case, xenophobia is another word for your autism. All right. So 5'7", motherfucker, dresses well, perfect body language. Well, look at this, guys. Don't worry, it's censored, so it's not. I can't get in trouble. But however, that's his lay pick. It's like, oh shit, he fucking bangs another 21-year-old. Here's vagina that you never ever fucking smell. You know, too bad for you guys. Instead, you could have just listened, improve your body language, widen your shoulders, you fucking narrow-shouldered girly men. Right? I don't believe that. What's his net worth to her loss? Was she a land whale? How tall is he? What's his income? He does not make a lot of money. He just dresses rich. He just barely makes like an employee's income in Germany. Barely anything. He's always like living paycheck to paycheck, but he can pay through my courses, writing it off to his company as training. So he doesn't make a lot. He lives in a small apartment. This really debunks everything. Just a small, tiny little apartment in Germany. He just dresses rich, but he's not rich. He has no money whatsoever. It must really pisses you off, right? Doesn't it?
In my book, with myself being a 3 on a good day. Now, 1 week after the training, it worked again. Yesterday, I ran into a Middle Eastern girl who said she was 25, who had been to my place before, but outside a little bit of teasing at that time, nothing happened.
Because he was focused on game, that brick.
This time, she was very...
So the second time he saw her, he had the body language. He starts speaking slower, and he was very different. He had the social skill flow drill after his Kaizen training. Then she saw this thing like the octopus arms. She started seeing all that and she converted. So you don't need to be in the point of non-compliance. Like Sun Tzu says, the battle is won before it is fought. Know your enemy and know yourself, and you not be defeated in 100 battles. The acme of excellence is not like destroying an enemy, but winning with ease. So, exactly like shooting fish in a barrel. Identify hot girls with mental illness is how he got her. No, he got 3 20-year-olds. You're just coping hard for a black pill. So if he only banged one 21-year-old, you call it luck. Then he bangs another 25-year-old. You probably call it, okay, it's a coincidence. Now he bangs another 21-year-old. Guess what? This is a pattern, a skill that you guys don't have. That debunks everything. So the octopus theory is the theory that nobody wants to hear, because it also debunks RSD victims. Because they just fucking spam approach building bad habits for 21 days. And they're stuck with the hunching, fucking shit body language like Todd V.
Very adamant that she would not be seen with me in public for whatever reason.
Well, the reason was because he is like ugly and fat, no, but she wanted to fuck him. She didn't want to lower her social value.
Wanted to keep it all hush hush and secret. When she came here, she kind of conducted an intelligence operation to make sure there were no audio or video recording devices switched on. She went through my desk drawers and found the dictaphone, which was switched off. When she was sure enough that there was no...
Yeah, I mean, when I kicked him out in 2020, because he was a fucking zombie making excuses. So the important thing that Black Pill needs to learn is the word grit, G-R-I-T. It's a Navy SEAL concept. It's a growth mindset. You need to be able to take in new information. So whenever, just like Asian masculinity, and also like Black Pill, you guys are always seeing the same echo chamber. You're always seeing the same shit. So you're not taking in new information. So this is probably going to be new to you guys. For the old man, he was closed off. So his grit, growth was gone. Resilience is the RSD zombies. They approach nonstop. Spam approach. So they turn off the grit or the growth. And the next one's called instinct. It means doing things the best way possible. And I'm telling you guys, is all these bricks, 20 or 35. I'm telling you the exact fucking instinct to win. But what you guys are doing is anti-instinct, because when I tell you what to do, not to hunch, widen your shoulders, take ashwagandha, because you guys have a lot of cortisol and also adrenal stress. So when women sees this adrenal stress, it's not because you're ugly. You guys made the attribution, just like they say is the media, because white people don't like Asians. You made the wrong conclusion. Women do find you guys attractive, but is this your behavior? It's because they're afraid of cortisol. With cortisol, in the evolutionary psychology days, this is what Black Pill doesn't understand. If a woman made it with you guys, okay, let's say she got pregnant with one of you guys, and you guys are like a whiny little fuck, right? Who's negative and hunching and full of, like, you triggered. So what happens, right? He's speaking like a snail in the voice recording. Why does he speak? Is this thing working? The microphone? Are you guys getting it? Why is he speaking like speaking snail in a voice recording? What the fuck, you know? Autism is, I cannot speak about that because YouTube does not like anything talking about whatever. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me properly? Because whenever I think of black pill, it's really negative. It does not make me feel good talking about it. No, you're student, not you. Oh, okay. Maybe I need to hold this up to the mic better. I turned down the volume. Hopefully you can still hear it. But for black pill, if I can tell something to the forum group, is to get these ashwagandha gummies. You need 6,000 mg a day before you sleep. Do not take it during the day. If you guys can take ashwagandha for 60 days, according to scientific studies, you can lower your cortisol down by 33%, 13% to 33% in the government site. So they did a clinical study. By lowering down this cortisol, imagine cortisol in evolutionary psychology. Whenever a woman sees it, these kind of autistic traits, it means in most of the time they don't procreate. They don't procreate. So a lot of people who are autistic in the old days, the women looks past them, not because they're ugly. Like someone like Elliot Rogers can be very attractive, but because they see the cortisol traits. So women are extremely afraid that she might pass off the wrong genes. So you guys could be handsome as hell. Most of you probably are. Some of you are ugly, but you're blaming something that is not the truth. Like the Asian masculinity saying it's all racism in the media. For you guys is a different thing. Do you see the pattern of blame? Shifting blame is sociopathic in traits because they never take responsibility. So it's always somebody else's fault. When they no longer take extreme ownership, that's not grit. That's not a growth mindset. That's not resilience. That is not an instinct of doing things the best way or tenacity, finishing the fight. That's just quitting and blaming and, like these MGTOW guys. Don't do that. So how do you fix this? First of all, try to figure out how to deal with this. And number 2 is how to get rid of adrenal stress. Adrenal stress is what's triggering a lot of you guys to be angry. You know that moment when you feel like you're just like in a fight, flight, and freeze mode? You freeze around the women. You feel angry when you're in the forums, or you want to run away at certain times when you're talking to women. That is adrenal stress that comes from the liver, affects the adrenal glands. So there's 2 different things. It's called a cortisol or corticosteroid. And the other one is like proteins, lipids, all this other stuff in the body. So you have 2 tubes or valves that are pumping stress hormone. And you got to hide that from the women. The more you can hide the stress hormone, the better off you'll be. So you can see all these beliefs that you guys have will all automatically change your brain waves where you'll be more depressed. You'll believe in yourself less. And also, you become angrier. You'll be triggered. So it becomes a downward spiral. So to reverse it, the body language is important. For you in a black pill, you got to learn how to smile and how to stand up straight, like do a Superman pose. And when you start doing that enough times, it's hard to be depressed. It really is hard to be depressed. Like you start to feel a lot better. Your state changes. And if you start to go like this, give it a try, black pill, and you put your hand on your head, you start to get depressed, right? Even right now, I start to feel like more and more depressed. But when you stand up straight, like a headache, right? And not tilt your head, because a lot of the autistic people have this neck tilt like this. When they get emotional, the signal goes up, they turn. So when the women, right, like Octopus, looks at that, plus the depression, plus the hunching, they get scared. It's not because they hate you. They might find you very, very attractive. Like Wheat Waffle is not a bad looking guy. But for you guys need to get this hand. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to talk about this forever, but this octopus concept debunks a lot of different concepts out there. So coffee isn't good as well because it lifts the cortisol. So CBT. I think coffee is okay. I think tea or green tea is good for you. It calms you down. I like steep tea in Canada. We have something called steep tea, orange pico. It's very relaxing. perhaps try something that has a little bit of caffeine but also relaxes you. But if I take this ashwagandha gummy, I'll get more and more calm. I took one before I started the YouTube live. So that's why my speech is not as fast as before. And I also try to figure out how to get rid of adrenal stress. Hey, I missed a stream yesterday. Did I miss anything? No, yesterday was just a sound check. I just got a new microphone. So I wanted to see if there was like any sound coming out of it and if it sounded okay. Apparently, it seems to sound very... Is it too loud, guys, or is it clear? I hope it's clearer than the other microphone. So one of my students were like interested in, streaming. And also, I was looking at Black Friday. I was going to buy the $1,000 version of this. It does not come with this windshield. I bought this extra. This is Joe Rogan's mic. The other one's called the Shure SM7B. $1,000. I have to buy more equipment, but that equipment will come on the 15th. For the mixer and also the what do they call it? Cloud lifter. So I have to buy 2 extra pieces and XLR cables to run it. I'd rather be streaming now. So I bought this one. This one goes right into the USB. So I was testing to see if the sound was correct, and I was changing it within the program. I'm thinking this is the most optimal setting right now. I have to check after we finish this stream. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm losing my voice. But women cannot see through you if you can hide it in front of them. Have you noticed a lot of dating coaches, a lot of people, they're almost gloomy. They're almost like depressed snowflake cunts. Most of them. But the women cannot see it. They can only see the value. So the body language is the most important. Because 55% of your communication, 55, is nonverbal. You're like, really? 55% of your communication is nonverbal. 34% is tonality, I believe. 7%, right, is your words, your game. So fuck that. This is why the body language got the old man laid so many times. He could not even get a single laid in 2020. He pulled many times. Failed. Every single time. And now, whenever a hot younger woman looks at him, goes on an Insta date with the octopus arms, it's game over. He's going to fuck her. If he just does this full time. After Kaizen, he was talking super fast during the program, but in his testimonial, he's a lot calmer and slower. He talks slower. It took him 3 weeks to slow down his speech. The 5 students I kicked out, they cannot slow down their speech, and they're very depressed about it. They're talking like, hey, excuse me, real quick, I have a question. By the way, I'm overconfident. I'm trying to be an RSD, self-familiar. So calm the fuck down. The faster you talk around women, the more she wants to walk away. She's off the line. It's a behavioral game. Sounds good. I could tell by a woman's voice. She's, for me, is the same for you. Yeah, exactly. So in their voice, well, he have gotten laid without you though. Without me, he had no chance whatsoever. So the training did make a big difference. So for Black Pill, right? It's kind of like a concept. Maybe this one will make more sense for you guys. Okay, a transformation. Have you noticed people, right? When they're making 5 figures, they have a different mindset, right, than 6 figures. So when you make 6 figures, it's different than the mindset of a 7-figure. That means you have to transform. When the person makes their first $1 million, for example, this is just hypothetically speaking, metaphorically. When they make their first million, it takes them about a decade or maybe 5 years at fastest. When that happens, they have to transform within that 10 years. And also to get the first 10 million, they have to have a different, so you always have to transform to be that person. So the first million, in the second and third million, is easier to get the next ones consecutively because you have to transform. So for a lot of you guys, you have to go through a transformation of skills. And sometimes skills take 21 days to transform. So Kaizen, unfortunately, for him to be able to pass Kaizen, so hopeless without you. He's hopeless without me, yes. Answer my question, though, about my voice. Okay, so voice is very important, all right? Voice is important because you can hear in her voice when she's turned off. So you know when she's off the line. Whenever she's off the line, it's kind of like Todd V's women when they talk to them. They're just like, yeah, I gotta get going. You can hear like she's really stressed. Thank you. Anyways, bye. I got a boyfriend. You can hear the stress in her voice. But for you, your voice is important too. So, tell my voice issues. Yeah, so the voice tells you everything. When she's like really into you, she'll start to melt, right? She'll start to sound more compliant, kind of like this, and she'll be more open to you. So if you guys can hear it, that's a good time to flirt. Yes, you can hear it. Because all the autistic people, like RSD victims, are always looking at the face. Because autistic people cannot read facial expressions. So what happens is, like Todd V in his infield, he just keeps plowing and plowing. She's not into him. And he's hunching. And she's hunching too because she's like annoyed. But he cannot see it. But you can hear it in the voice. Because imagine if I were selling you something like, hey, you should buy this ashwagandha gummy, right? And let's say Mr. Blackpill over there does not want to buy it. So he'd be like, no, thank you. No, thank you. But he doesn't want to hurt my feelings. So he's like, oh yeah, let's take a look at this gummy, right? So he's smiling. Yeah, well, let's see. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, just send me an invoice later. I'll get it. And he does not get it. He flakes. That's what happens with women. They're giving you a nice face because they don't want to hurt your feelings. It's the last thing they want. Because one time they hurt a guy's feelings. And they start texting, you fucking bitch, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, they say a lot of bad shit. And she's worried that another guy is going to lose their shit again. So she believes that if she can push off and delay over and over. And this is what one person did to me over and over for Elite 30. He just kept delaying it, and I just blocked him. You know? I don't give a shit. So many students bought Elite 30 after the last testimonial. So what's one more going to do? Fuck them. But that's what women does to you. They're delaying it. So that way, when they turn you down, they don't hurt your feelings. They cannot say no. But the voice of the women, you can hear the compliance in their voice. Absolutely. 100%. Oh, yeah. So that's what happened. So what happened with Marco? For Marco, he has this different mentality. He has that RSD mentality that if he makes 10,000 approaches, he's going to get laid. And that's the same mentality that people are doing, the 5 that kicked out. If they do 100 equals 1,000, they think they're 10,000 approaches away from a lay. So their lay can happen in 10 approaches, 100, 1,000, 10,000, whatever. But it's not going to happen because it's drown or not drown. So for Marco, he's such a zombie right now. He does not want to develop the skills. My students all go through an obstacle course to build this 20 out of 35 bridge. For Marco, he's done the physical things. He's working out, changed the hair, the clothes. But he's so lazy, he does not want to practice in front of the mirror. Now he got 2 mirrors, one for work and one at home, to level up like a ninja. But he cannot get over his brainwashing. The more brainwashed they become, the more obstacles I have to face. So I always have to, whenever I teach a student, I'm also teaching them past their brainwashing. So their belief system. He really believes that if he makes enough approaches, and these other Asians are like, I don't know, John. I'll make another 5,000 and we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Because in the Octopus, it's wavier during COVID-19. It's wavier because everyone's stressed because this thing that's going in people's lungs can put them in the hospital or kill them. Everyone is stressed. Their cortisol is going through the roof. So it's very important that you have the body language of an alpha male leader to build attraction. At the same time, the social skill flow drill to be in the in-tribe. Get it? So if you have the social skills, and you can talk to her. But if you act like the Todd V, the autistic fuck, out-tribe, then you get all rejected. That's what's happening to a lot of people. And this is the generation of Marco. The 10,000 approaches to LA. So I just play the old man's testimonial. I'll play the London student's testimonial to end this thing.
Audio or video recording she put her arms around my shoulders and let me take her. In my book, she is a clear 8 out of 10. And what is interesting, her face is very, very similar to one of the girls.
Yeah, Marco is taking the least amount of action, actually. I want him to come back, but he's just barely going through a few videos here and there through the inner circle. I think he needs to step up. Sometimes you need to have a singular focus and you need to 10x it, like Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant will always practice like game-winning shots. He'll spend all day practicing. He believes the more he practices like a ninja, right, he's going to eventually catch up to the greats and beat them over the years. Marco needs to have that mentality again. So be Sigma, not Alpha. Forget about all these terms. Most of my Asian students, and I have the most Asians laid in the world compared to other coaches. None of my students, when you listen to the Asian testimonials, none of them some Alpha or Sigma or whatever shit. They have the skills. The octopus arms, the women sees it. They have that 20 out of 35 bridge. That's all they need is the value through all this stuff. And the women can sense it with the octopus arms. So they don't really need to be charming, as the Asians say, or, you know, be like charismatic. You don't need that shit. But that social skills is really hard to develop. And a lot of the Asians were RST victims. They either inject steroids or they use like protector status, doing that 10,000 approaches, hoping for something. But nothing happens during COVID because it's drown or not drown. In order to get your head above the water, you must train and work on all these skill set. It took this old man 30 days. It was not easy. And I can tell you one thing, that when he did Kaizen the second time, he says, do whatever it takes to win. I made him pinch his nipples as hard as he can whenever he fucks up like a zombie. You're like, that's cruel and unusual punishment, John. I know, but we both agreed that there was no other way. It was like training a dog or something. You needed punishment and reward. I treat all my students the same. If they're a zombie, they get yelled at until they get the skills down. If they're nice, they get encouraged. Charm isn't important. I better make a new video about charm because everyone's bringing up charm. The reason why RSD Todd is charming is because he's autistic. And the people that are his audience, what they see from these white dating coaches is that these infields where they pretend to pull, nothing happens. They walk into a cab. So they're like, oh, it's charm, because they cannot interpret the social skills in the infields. I can. They cannot interpret it. So therefore, the only thing they can fucking see in these infields is the charm, the charisma. But that charisma, they're thinking is adding points, but it's drying her fucking pussy because they're acting like a gamey in-tribe person without social skills and social calibrations. All right. Once I finish this, I'll go through the London student stuff. I have some of his other testimonials. You already saw some on my YouTube, so I don't have to replay them.
I put up for the exercises, where John gave me an exercise to use printed out women's photos to do certain exercises.
Yeah,
and
so
she does look very.
So he practiced at home, like the jump shots of Kobe Bryant, like game-winning shots. He printed out a picture of a woman so he can trigger the cortisol. He can get used to the stress, just like a fucking ninja. He practiced at home, leveling up, over and over, over and over, over and over. So that means he doesn't need to go through like 200 approaches of nonstop rejections, hunching. He can look in the mirror to fix the body language, and still, with a woman picture in front, he can get used to the stress. So he doesn't have to worry. So this is what they call no stakes practice. This is a ninja style. The people with high SMV, they'll never understand this because it's all game tactics, all samurai, slashing tactics. But let me ask you a question. If it's all sales and it's all strategies in sales, aren't they selling a better product, being whitewashed and blackwash and tall? Status maxing? Yes. So their students that get laid are usually white students. So they cover the whole testimonial. And fucking Tinder too, of all things. Doesn't even count. Doesn't even count. Day game is harder. Day game needs 20 bricks. Night game, you need 10 bricks to get across because the women are down to fuck. Tinder, you need like fucking 5 bricks. And some of these Asians don't even have that 5 bricks. No skill involved. Tinder doesn't mean shit. So I don't believe in any choosing signals or even repeat that. No. Don't believe any of that. You want to win through adaptation. You walk in there with the perfect body language, the octopus arms. Okay? So instead of using choosing signals like AMS, you go open the set, but you don't find somebody that has nothing. You don't go for a fast moving set. All right? Because she's busy. If she's walking fast moving, she always has to do something. She's in a rush. So you find, it doesn't matter what the score is. You find the women who you're willing to fuck and they're willing to go home with you because they have nothing to do. Does that make sense? And when you're in there, you have to not hunch like Todd Valentine. You have to have facial expressions, but not like just emoting, like mystery. You have to be congruent. And like the old man, you need to have a social skill flow drill in body language, in ashwagandha to calm you down. Give it a try. If you take ashwagandha, you're more calm, she's more calm. Mirror neurons. Get it? It's like a mirror. You're more calm, you're more confident, she's more attracted to you. It's a mirror. And then whenever she gives you trouble, then you have to tease her. You have to move your tonality up. Oh my God, like, what's with you? Are you ADHD or something? Of course, people can say, oh, it's not fancy game tactics. So they throw the baby out with the bathwater. Everything's thrown out because it's try hard. But teasing works really well for my students. No, my students do not do push-pulls. But you have to tease at the right time, and her voice changes. She will go from, yeah, I get it going, tease, blah, 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 blah. Now she faces you again. And she's like, huh? What the fuck? No one's ever talked to me like that. Then she gets a little bit moist down there. And now you bought yourself more time. But if you go into the zombie conversational skills, which is you talk, blah, 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 like code read. You look like you are this or that. And they look at her. And then she's like, yeah, I am, right? And then afterwards, you go like, ask a question because you're autistic. You're like, oh, she finally talked. So are you from Vancouver? And then she's like, no, I'm not. Teehee, right? Short fucking answer. She's not opening up. And then you go another stack. Another code read. You look like you do yoga or something. I used to do yoga. Another question, now 3 in a row. Like Julian Blanc. It's like, or AAG, whatever. It's like 4 questions. Oh, so how long have you been in Vancouver? What do you do for hobbies? Where do you live? How old are you? She's like, fucking interrogation. This sounds autistic. Now the octopus arms sees through that and it's like, oh, another creepy PUA. This guy is autistic. He doesn't have the social skill flow drill. She gets turned off. He looks eager. And it's like, because autistic people cannot do 3 steps. So when the flow drill has 3 steps, the 3rd step always disappears. They can only do 2 steps. That's why they're into game. They like game tactics because game only has 1 or 2 steps. Does that make sense? So whenever you have 3 steps, that's why it took like 2 weeks in a row for the London student to get this down, to not drown. Because Marco is drowning because he didn't get the skills down. Marco does this exact zombie drill every single time. He goes right into the fucking questions. She talks. He flirts. Then he makes another statement. She talks. It's just a zombie. So do you recommend any? No, I don't recommend any other supplements. Just this one. Ashwagandha. 6,000 mg. 6,000. Blazer makes you come off as too far. No. That's what you say, but it got the old man laid. Even self-proclaimed high leg count guys like, oh, it's too try hard. That's the word, try hard. It looks too formal. Look, this works on hot teenage girls are illegal because they recognize value for evolutionary psychology. It works for all women because it makes me look whitewashed with the pants and everything. It works despite they always say, oh, attract gold diggers. It does not do that. Women only see the bricks. You guys get it? So the blazer is actually helping you because it's giving you extra points. Women in their gray matter, although you could bypass it with body language, they do see this as an extra point or two. It adds to your looks, it adds to your money, and it makes some of the Indian students look more whitewashed, so it adds to their status. So rather than being 2 out of 10 for their perceived natural status, the Indian students can jump all the way to 4 out of 10 for whitewashed. So all my students use it. And the Asians never want to wear it because they want to be as fobby as possible, unrelatable as possible. But this thing is a game changer. The best way to think about it is it's like a ninja uniform, or it is more like an army uniform. You're stealing the white man's armor. This is stealing the white man's helmet. This is stealing the white man's, body armor. This is stealing the white man's camo pants. And the shoes, right? The elevator brown shoes is stealing the white man's boots. And you're using the strength or their SMV to augment it against their women. Hope that makes sense. You're like, that's smart. So why would you do inferior tactics or samurai tactics? Why not use something that already works? If the old man is wearing a blazer, and this is why I want to talk about why this is so important. The old man once went to Portugal, Spain. He always wore a blazer. Because when he went there, he did not wear the blazer. He got rejected every single time. He had 100% rejection rate. So we had to diagnose what was wrong. I was like, are you wearing your elevator shoes? He said, no. I was like, okay. Are you wearing your blazer? He's like, no, I got to wash it because I'm sweating all over it. I said, okay, are you wearing your brown pants? No, because I'm wearing the gray one because of this. I'm wearing this big raincoat. I was like, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. Follow the fucking steps, right? And guess what happened? When he got 100% rejection rate, and work, I see women look up and down. Yes, Asians aren't fobby. Not all Asians, some. But when they wear the blazer, and in Portugal, then afterwards, he no longer got rejected as much. He wore the elevator shoes, the whitewash fashion. This guy is so ugly for this German guy that he's almost like an Asian person. Short, fat, no looks. I'm not saying all Asians are like that. I'm just saying he has such low SMV that this was the only thing that works. So if you guys dismiss it, the reason why Asians don't want to wear the blazer is because they want to feel like they're enough. They don't want to assimilate. And when other people go to China, they don't want to assimilate to the culture, and they want to act like a thug. And they're wondering why they get xenophobia. For the Asians, you're creating xenophobia. So you never have a chance to really daygame properly. You're talking fast. You have no social skills. You hunch. You put them on a pedestal. And you refuse to wear this because it requires a lot of self-esteem. It makes you very uncomfortable. So I don't wear blazers because you don't have to. Why do you make Asians out to be the bottom of the barrel? I'm not making them out to be the bottom of the barrel, but they think they're on top when they're equal to everyone because they don't want to build a 20 out of 35 like my other students. And let's look at the evidence. This is all the other dating coaches out there for their Asian late testimonials in Daygame. One has 5 using game. So is that enough? They have 6 Indian lay testimonials, 5 Asians. The next guy, Queefing Casanova, has 7. 7 after all these years. ABCs of Attraction has 6. I have 34. And they wear the same fashion, the same haircut, the same everything, the same shoes, same pants. Do you see a pattern here? Same body language. Elite 30 is what got most of them laid. They don't teach that elsewhere. They teach socio skills, not social skills. So you're asking yourself, why is Asian a bomb? Well, until the other coaches can get more of the Asians laid, you can't go and tell me that, And I have like so many Asian lay testimonials. Guys are like 5'3", 5'4". They all adapted. And when they no longer use the fashion, they don't get any more lays. When they keep using it, they keep getting laid with the Elite 30. So Elite 30 is a crutch for them. Though it's not a crutch. It's called adding extra 2.5 bricks to your bridge. And plus, you get social skills if you use the Skype and I teach it to you. That's 5 points. That's not a crutch. It's called smart. Asians are not smart because they like to take away bricks with their shit hairstyle, their shit fashion, their shit fucking like, I don't want elevator shoes. I'm enough. Their fobby outfits that makes them like fucking like women xenophobic. They're taking away points. And they're talking fast. They're taking away points from emotions. So they're not using good strategy. And they want to play a game like a white dating coach who has positive stereotype samurai game. Because they're charm, John, charm. 6'2" is perfect height. I think 6'1" is the perfect height. If you go too high, right, 6'3", 6'4", and you don't have wide shoulders, you no longer have to protect your status because you look like a tree, like a twig or something. So, but 6'3" is fine. But I think 6'2", yes, it's truthfully, my students that got the most amount of lays all are 6'2". Okay, that's the truth. The ones with the higher lay counts, 6'2". But if you go above 6'2", it can start to backfire if you're too skinny. It's tough for Asians starting off. You guys have no idea. Don't generalize. Hey, asshole, I'm an Asian person. Second of all, I have the most Asian lay testimonials in the world. Who's generalizing? I'm not speaking opinions as facts. I'm speaking facts as opinions. I've earned the right to have an opinion. Most dating coaches only have one token Asian, like Justin Wayne, a good-looking guy, or zero. So shut the fuck up. I've earned my right to speak about Asians. I am the top expert in the world at teaching Daygame. I have the most Asian lay testimonials. I've earned my right. And what has the Asian masculinity forum done for each other? Besides blame everyone else like Black Pill. Nothing. They deserve to fail because their minds all full of, because they don't want to change. It's 5'8" broad shoulders, wearing hop shoes and dates at 5'7" at my job. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. So broad shoulders, you see that? So my students that widen their shoulders is a very good thing. 100% correct. 100% correct. Latinas, they love protector status. So this guy must be very, very bulky, like a Ninja Turtle, right? Exactly like what I'm trying to say, but have a V-shape Ninja Turtle, not just a compound Ninja Turtle as Queef and Casanova students. They look like a fucking Ninja Turtle. Big stomach, bulky shoulders, big fucking face. Fuck that shit. All right, let's continue. There's so much I wanted to say. I had to get through all this stuff. But yeah, even for the other guy who was 6'6", the 52-year-old guy's friend, he has such a bad body language. He couldn't stop moving his hips in a circle. He couldn't stop moving his hips in a circle because he cannot keep still. So as the octopus arm, the woman was getting really turned off. And you can listen to his testimonial. It's all the same thing. Let's hear it. Hopefully this works. Why is it not working? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Let's try this one. How come it's not working? Oh, maybe something crashed.
Appreciation, I got a photo of her with her face covered with a towel and cup that would make her identifiable, with the promise it would never be shown to anyone but me. I had trained with several other dating coaches. And, occasionally I got a very small
He got a girlfriend from fan approaching one time, many years ago, like almost like 5 or 10 years ago.
Result. But as for long-lasting and substantial, sustainable results, there was basically nothing. If you are getting next to none results like me, and you really lack social consciousness like me, then I recommend you train with John Elite, because from all I have seen, from years of looking at the scene, he is the only one who could substantially and sustainably change my attitude and my behavior from being a very nervous and fearful person to being a lot more stable, a lot more happy, and within 6 weeks, taking home and having sex with 2 girls who are less than half my age and way more than double of me in the looks scale. Therefore, I recommend you take the training with John if you want something real to happen in your dating life. And so far, you have not found the right person to do it.
Yeah. That's just his earlier testimonial. And the one that I want to show you, the newest one, is that he fucked another 21-year-old. This is his newest one. I'm going to play a little bit faster speed so you guys can hear it.
Hello, this is another video update testimonial for dating coach Johnny Beat. Oops, I did it again.
So I'm going to play at normal speed. He is robotic and he is autistic. So just like you guys, right? In the black pill, he is extremely autistic. He has no emotions whatsoever. And he's a bit of a, well, I wouldn't want to say a psycho, but I'm just saying like he has no emotions. So how did he get laid without emotions? That this debunks the emotional theory that you need emotions to get results. Is not true. You just need the bricks to build the bridge over there. In the women's, the octopus. And some of my students that are the most psycho, the ones with no emotions, are the ones who are all engaged, getting married. And some already married, because women cannot frame control them. It's all value, guys. It's all that 20 out of 35 brick, nothing else. Latino's overrated. I'm not okay. Whatever. People don't know what they don't know. But yeah, he is very autistic. So
I fucked another 21-year-old yesterday. I'm a 52-year-old, ugly, bald, fat German. I'm not good looking, and at the moment, I'm not looking good. I'm about 15% overweight and not in shape. But anyway, yesterday I fucked another 20.
Yeah, so if you want to see the lay pic, it's on my site. You know, you can't post it here. So let's go talk about the other student, the London student. He was about to kill himself, believe it or not. And I'm going to go through the testimonial. I believe when Marco heard this stuff, he wanted to train with him. So let's see.
Hi, I want to do a video testimony for John Elite. He is the best day game coach in the world because he has literally got me my 9.5 out of 10 fuck buddy and turned her into my girlfriend.
That's the last one. So this one you're not supposed to see until way in the future. He banged a 9.5 out of 10, a model. And he also banged his sister because they both have blonde hair, but they're Latinas. They're from Spain. So you might say they're not Latinas, they're white Latinas. Doesn't matter. They're professional models that moved to London to be like a model. They're professionals. That's his girlfriend. So that's the end game. It doesn't mean like everyone can get that. He gone through 3 Skypes with me to get this kind of training. And the amount of training for the social skill flow drill, just to be able. Okay, here's the best way to understand it. You need to make the physical changes because he's wearing the blazers and everything. You need to make the mindset changes. I have a playlist with 18 videos to unlock the mindsets. Then you need to go through the habit changes, not the game stuff. 2 weeks I've been yelling at him. He thought I was inhuman. Like, fuck you. This fucking sucks, you fucking idiot. Like, just 2 weeks of that. Just, this is a shit. Is this a social skill flow drill? Or you autistic fucking asshole? 2 weeks of that. And he was scared. But guess what? He started getting the flow drill down after 1.5 weeks. And then afterwards, how tall is London student? His looks is around like 6.9. So his height is 6 foot tall, I believe. So you might say, yeah, whatever, but he's not the only student that got like so many fuck buddies that are super hot. I also have a Latino student who's 5'7", bald, who's also banging women way harder than self-proclaimed highlight kind of guys' girlfriends. He has like many fuck buddies, all from Daygame. So it's not just that. I mean, these are like 2 5'7" bald students. So it's not just his height. This guy's very, very autistic. This guy was about to kill himself, this London student. He was on the verge of suicide. I saved his life. I got him his first lay. Although with the Asian women, it didn't matter because afterwards, I changed his Facebook background so he can status max. Half his body's cut off. And then the women got into him and fucked him. And he didn't want to kill himself anymore. He discarded all the other white coaches. London Daygame. And he was studying Todd V's Daygame system. Todd V could have had him killed. So thank God. That's good. I'm 6'2" muscular hands. Okay, I agree with the first two. But that's not the point. This guy's not good looking for a London student. He's okay looking, you know? But he started looking better when he was V-shaping his body out throughout the 10 fuck buddies. And every day he practiced a social skill flow drill. So the very first thing he did to get his first Latina same day lay was that he did Elite 30. And he hit a plateau because he was so autistic with the social skills for the bricks. He's got a good body language, but he was not enough because his emotions were fucked. He had no social skills whatsoever. So for 2 weeks, I've been yelling at him. So it's not just the Chinese I yell at or the Asians. If the Asians are complaining, you should see the old man, the 52-year-old man. He pinches nipples over 300 or 400 fucking times and recorded it for me. Every time he fucks up, he has to pinch it 10 times and say, I am teachable. And you say, John, you're not human. It doesn't matter. It gets them results because I'm forcing grit. I know this scares a lot of people. My training is like the Navy SEALs. So is this legal to train people like this? It doesn't matter because they're unstoppable. They are like Navy SEALs. They're killers. Can brown boy have sex? Oh, absolutely. I have a lot of students that are Indian. When I say, I mean, okay, well, in racism, like you can say whatever you want. Asian people are always throwing out the race card. That's what makes you guys idiots. Every single time, everyone disagrees with anyone that disagrees with you. You're the racist. They're racist. Oh no, you disagree with my Asian masculinity. You're racist. Everyone's racist except you guys, who are the most racist. You treat black people like shit. When my black student was living in China, you don't even give them like any fucking employment. You guys are xenophobic, but you guys have this double standard. You're racist towards white people, all of you. So you point one finger at me, I point 3 back at you guys. Asian masculinity is the most racist place towards white people. They blame everything on the white people when they cause their own xenophobia, being part of the out tribe. Yeah, but racism exists against Asian. Yeah, but we're also xenophobia exists. The fear and dislike of other people's culture. Just like when the black man moved to China, you guys are fearful, not because you're racist, but if he starts speaking Chinese around Chinese people, they're no longer xenophobic. They'll accept him into the tribe. And I've seen a lot of YouTube channels of guys who can speak Chinese in New York. Then the xenophobia disappears. It goes both ways. So it's never about racism, xenophobia. And that's why I try to talk to with another person here on the last video in the comment section. When he realized it was xenophobia that he was causing it, the out tribe. Then he realized, shit, it's not racism. Fuck, what was I thinking? I'll talk about that in the future. Exactly. I'm the country I found ashwagandha. Get one for. Is that too low? It's too low. This one's already 3,000, so I take 2. You need 6,000 if you're autistic or something, and that'll be better. So for me, it doesn't really do much for me because I'm not autistic. I went to a lot of psychologists and psychiatrists. None of them says I was autistic. But however, for me, the adrenal stress thing works better. So it's not ashwagandha, but the other stuff I take for adrenaline. Maybe it calms down my killer instinct a little bit. So it makes me like not have that fight mode as much. It makes me more calm. And I think a lot of Chinese people or Asians are like that too. However, for you guys, right? Black pill, red pill, Asian masculinity, you guys should do this for 60 days in a row. 6,000 mg every single night. You wake up refreshed. This does not work for me. But the other one works really well. So how about you ashwagandha disease nuts? How about you go fuck yourself? Any advice for ADHD? Yeah. One of my Filipino students have figured out a new compound for ADHD is the cure. Not Adderall and not the other one. It works. All my students take it, including Marco. And I'm not going to tell you guys. It's only a secret for my students. So not for you guys. I'm only sharing this because I know it can help the black pill and it can help the red pill. It can help the PUAs and it can help a lot of people. 6,000. Never miss a day. 60 days in a row. 33% of it gone permanently. So Asian douche. No. Do not anime max or do not K-pop max. Do not do it. It's be whitewashed. Be part of the tribe. Unless you're a pretty boy type that can look like a Korean pop idol, do not do it. All right, I gotta get through a lot of stuff here. So let's get through this one.
This was after I got 10 fuck buddies. I even accidentally fucked this fuck buddy's sister because she looks just like her. They're both blondes and Latinas, and I accidentally fucked her. But that won't happen again because her sister wants me and my girlfriend together. My girlfriend's literally 9.5 out of 10, and she is literally the best girlfriend in the world. And she is literally, she looks absolutely perfect, feature perfect.
True.
She's got great features.
See, it's not just like they're students. You don't know what the women looks like. I've already posted his girlfriend and his girlfriend's sister. They're fucking smoking hot, and they're professional models of all things. That's what they do for a living. Be good looking. So. What other things do you use? I use a lot of things, man. A lot of things. You wouldn't believe how many things. So the students all use the same thing. They have something for depression. They have stuff for every other category. ADHD, autism, adrenal stress, like for getting trigger, right? The Chinese it'll be very useful for them to work on their adrenal stress.
It's all, she's absolutely excellent. And thank you, John Elite, for everything you've done for me. And I will update this testimonial with footage with me and her together as proof. And I'll update it, and I will send that in the next few hours after this. And I'm going to go back with her now. But thank you, John Elite, for everything you've done for me. And you are the best Daygame coach in the world. Thank you.
Okay, next one.
Hi, I want to make a video testimonial for John Elite. Just an update from the previous testimony I've just given him. And before, I've got 3 fuck buddies.
Yeah, you guys only saw the one up to 3 fuck buddies. So this is the next one that's in the sequence. So you can hear his voice changed a lot. And he started looking younger and younger the more lazy he got because he's not as depressed. And he also started to get more muscular. And because he looked much older than he really was. So it was almost reversing for him, which is amazing. So.
Blowjob. Well, lately, I've just got the full fuck buddy. And it's an Argentinian woman. And she doesn't live that far from me. And it's really convenient for me as well. And I want to thank John Elite for this. His skills have literally put everything to a whole new level. And thank you, John. And definitely He's literally the best Daygame coach in the world. I'm not joking. Like 4 fuck buddies, and it's like COVID-19 out there. So it's quite impossible. It sounds impossible, but I actually pulled it off. And with his coaching, it was absolutely unbelievable. Thank you.
Next one. Okay.
Hi, I want to do a testimonial for John Elite. He is literally the best Daygame coach in the world. He's actually the best dating coach in the world. And I say that because I got a fivesome the other night by 4 Chinese women and me. And one of my fuck buddies actually set it all up. He has literally sorted my life out. 9 fuck buddies in total. Absolutely, he's a wizard. There's nothing that man can't do. He taught me everything that I needed to know about social skills and social calibration.
Social skills and social calibrations, guys. The bricks that you want to ignore. Let's ignore that, huh?
And if you're not training with him, you will never reach those type of results from Daygame. This is not online game. This is Daygame. This is literally meeting people in real life. And he is the master of that. Please, listen to me. Go with John Elite if you're struggling. He is literally the best Daygame coach in the world. And I'm not saying that because I want to say that. I've said that because I got results from his training. There's no one in the industry that can match him.
It's true.
Go on his website and literally talk to him and get trained by him because he's literally the best out there, without a shadow of a doubt. He's sorted my life out, and he will yours if you're struggling. Thank you, John. Thank you for everything. Bye. Hi, I wanted to do a video testimonial for John Elite. He is literally the best Daygame coach in the world. He has literally got my 5th fuck buddy. Like during pandemic, during Corona, absolutely crazy, I know, but he's literally done it for me.
You'll see that throughout the videos and stuff like that. His hair would change because at that time they were so locked down in London, you could not get a haircut. So you start to see like it changes throughout the whole thing. So even with the haircut, everything, his skills, right? Even if the helmet was not perfect over time, it didn't matter. Because he was able to swim after that 2 weeks of me yelling at him. He was able to get his head above the water. So how come you didn't post all these testimonials, John? I got so many. Like, this is just a fraction of them. How the fuck am I supposed to post all of them? Every YouTube live would just be nonstop late testimonials. This is just the beginning. Like, if I were to post all the video testimonials, including the screenshot ones, there'd be like over 100 fucking like 100 something. That'd be like almost like 120, 130. It wouldn't stop. It's just going to flood my whole YouTube. My whole site's already crashing before because it's too many testimonials. So, I have to figure out how to post them all now in such a way that doesn't crash the site. I put 1 or 2 more videos, it doesn't run anymore. The background will not even load. I'm right at the limit. I can only write words now. But you can see the screenshot stuff and all that other stuff. Are you guys getting the point here? Social skills, social calibrations. This is not a theory, guys. And anyone that ignores what I say, they don't change the physical things. In the Asian masculinity students, the 5, 2 of them I kicked, they never change their fashion even after 5 months. They have not done it. They have not done the whole set. You will fail. This London student does the same fashion, the same V-shaped body. He also got a total gym like me. He has his own total gym. It worked. He got like used. All my students, if they can get it, they'll get used. So they don't have to go to the gym. They can work out every single day next to their fucking desk. So there's no fucking excuses. Same hairstyle, same pants. They all wear the same shit, the same watch, the same fucking shoes. You guys getting it? Like, literally, there's nobody that can get student results like mine in this whole industry. Doesn't fucking exist. Except me. Maybe stop with this fucking game fucking brick to build that bridge. Start building the other bridges. Women cannot see through his autism. You know that? They can't see through his fucking autism because his social skills was perfect afterwards. 2 weeks of being yelled at. Just almost torturous training. Was it worth it? Hell fucking yeah. He got 5. Yeah, you keep making that excuse. He's got 5 because he's white. Don't forget, my other students who are Latinos and other races also has a lot of fuck buddies. And they've been through this kind of things too. Like, it's not just, I even have Asian students banging models and strippers too. Like, look at the one that has 150 fucking, the student had 150 lays. 5'4" Filipino student. My best student of all time. Social skills, social calibrations, the same fucking hairstyle that all my students use, the same fucking blazers at the time, the same fucking pants, the same fucking elevator shoe, the same fucking things, guys. Same fucking formula that you keep dismissing is that women, they can't see past the value of those bricks to build across the bridge to cross the COVID-19, fucking laid, testimonial shit. Like, you get my point. Let me continue.
And he has taught me everything I need to know.
Oh yeah, and he takes a lot of ashwagandha just to be able to keep calm. So every single night he takes ashwagandha. It helps him hide his cortisol and his autism.
To do that. And of course, people will say, well, I'm white, I'm good looking, I'm tall.
He's not that good looking, but whatever.
Well, no, I had autism. He literally, I went to John Elite when I had 0 out of 10 social skills. 0 out of 10. And he rebuilt me. He taught me my social skills and social calibrations. So he is literally the best day game coach in the world.
That's a funny thing. Everyone thinks they can be a dating coach when they're a samurai game. Just like I talked about earlier. I talk about samurai game versus ninja game. When you play ninja game, like my students, social skills, social calibrations is different than a samurai. You be a dating coach, you won't even get more than 1 lay testimonial. You just ruin everyone else's life. Exactly the same as the industry. So not everyone can be a dating coach. Nobody even stands up to me. You take all their Asian lay testimonials. I have more than the whole industry for Daygame. You take all the lay testimonials of all dating coaches is roughly around 130 something. Doesn't even fucking hold a candle up to my 492. It's actually 493. I'll post another one of somebody from the YouTube live at Black Student. Got 2 lays for my products. But that's the truth. Actually, but samurais are more equipped for... Not necessarily true. Because samurais are stronger than the ninjas. They're bigger, they're stronger, they can handle the sword. So their strategies that they use for Daygame is not going to be compatible with short little 5'5" or 5'3" students. Like, they went to this other person, the self-proclaimed high lay count guy, and the problem is that it didn't work when they went to the samurai strategy, but they have to switch up the strategy from game and emotions to social skills, social calibrations, ashwagandha, and a little bit of game tactics, just barely little, because it already cuts through the non-compliance. Let's continue. How many fucking girls get younger to talk about that one? Let's just continue this testimonial.
I've literally been on these forums just browsing, and these London day gamers using direct day game, they're not getting results. They are not getting results. And I've been Skyping with...
Yeah, that's like samurai game.
John recently. And of course, I'm going to Skype with him again to get that 6th fuck buddy. And I've already got 5. 1 with an English woman, 1 with a Brazilian woman, 1 with an Argentinian woman, 1 with a Chinese woman, and now 1 with a Middle Eastern woman.
See, so like every fucking race is not just Asians. So, in your face.
Absolutely crazy during Corona. Absolutely crazy. And if these testimonials demoralize you, no, they should inspire you, encourage you, especially if you've got autism. Because if you just train with the right person, like John Elite, you will get results. I mean, you will. He told me to DHV, my second job, and even my hobby. And yeah, I just listen to everything he says. He rebuilt me.
So he rebuilt, right? Just like the army, and also grit. He has grit. He has tenacity. Not before when he wanted to kill himself, but after my training, he had resilience. Then he started having tenacity. Then he started having instinct. Everything I say, he fucking does it. When I say jump, he says, "How high, John?" When I say like run, how far, John? Yes, sir. So, what do you think about NoFap? I agree with NoFap. If you have more SMV, you should do it because it'll get you late. That means if you status maxing or something, NoFap works really well. But if you're lower on the SMV, right, for Ninja game, you should every time you approach, you're allowed to fap. That means if you don't go out there and approach, you cannot fap. So you have to force yourself to the point where you're climbing the walls like Spider-Man because you want to fap. Then you have to go out there. So that's why I recommend. So for you, definitely do no fap. It works for positive stereotype blackwash people. By far, it really works. I think masturbation is healthy for prostate. Yeah, I agree with that. But you can also do that when you have lower SMV, only when you approach. So that solves a lot of the problems. Because for the other guy there, he's going to get laid and he's going to be more sexual. For the lower SMV guys, you know, it gets them out there more. Eventually they'll get laid when they're trained under me. So.
And that's what I did. And he rebuilt my fitness, my fashion, my health, and everything, my social skills and social calibration.
Yeah, he's rebuilding all the bricks. He said like working out, like total gym, V-shaped body, fashion, everything, hairstyle.
For my day game. He is literally the best day game coach in the world. He's got me 5 fuck buddies. And literally, if you want results, train with John Elite. Seriously, because you will not regret it. And of course, if you don't want results, then that's up to you. But seriously, he is the only dating coach in the world, in day game, and just dating coach in general, that will get you laid. I'm serious. Like all the other guys, they don't get you laid, but he does. You know, to him.
Yeah, that was before. Like this is a long time ago. Like during the pandemic, I think the first year. Back then, like almost nobody had late testimonials. Maybe a few boot camps here and there, but almost nobody had anything from their products. And still, to this very day, they have not got their first like day game late testimonial for their product. Except self-proclaimed high late count guy, he got 2, which is fucking surprising. Todd V 0. All the other coaches 0 for their products. Doesn't work. But yeah, I have to give credit where it's due. He actually got 2. So congratulations. Doesn't mean it's the best game. It's a samurai game. Doesn't mean it's transferable because there's 3 late testimonials overall. Ties with Todd V. But the point is he still got 2. But that's like, you know, like last week or whatever when I was there. It's just like fucking 5 student late testimonials in a row. So let's see. It talks quite fast. Let's see.
Game is a science, and game.
Yeah, even if he talks quite fast, right? The women are still into him because he's also white. He has 10 bricks, so he can get away with that. Hope that makes sense. But the old man, the 52-year-old man, cannot get away with that. So,
game is a science, and he is literally the master of game, literally. And I'm not just saying that because I'm being taught by him. I'm saying that because I actually got results by being under his teachings. So seriously, the best day game coach in the world is John Elite. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Hi. I wanted to do a testimonial for John Elite. He is literally the best day game coach in the world.
So which one is this one?
And I say that because when I first got into game, I was following the London day game model, and that just didn't work.
Oh, this is an older one. This is probably one of those earlier ones.
Then I followed Todd Valentine, and his stuff just didn't work. Then I found John Elite, and he taught social skills and social calibrations.
Yes.
I then purchased Elite 30. This got me a lay with a Chinese woman. It also got me a same-day lay with a Brazilian woman. And then I purchased the Elite Access, getting into John's mental filter. He helped me out with things like my health, my fitness, fashion, but most importantly.
Have you noticed since this is an older testimonial, he does not sound as confident as before. And as he gets more and more fuck buddies and more lays, his voice starts to change. He transforms into he quantum leaps. So it's the same thing as that concept, the 5-figure, 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure. It changes because he has to be a different, not like a different person, but he has to level up the skills to build that 20 out of 35 bricks. So any thoughts about the simulation theory? it's all a simulation. We talked about this before. You know, your thoughts and feelings can manifest stuff. Most likely, we're in a simulation. So it's either the whole civilization got destroyed and they're just simulating before that happened, AI would take over everything. And I believe all aliens and stuff, a lot of them, their civilization is destroyed because either they turn like to AI or they just go extinct after a certain point. That's why Elon Musk wants to move to the Mars and then build other colonies all around to have a consciousness across the universe. This species is doomed for extinction, I believe, in the future. We won't even last 100 generations. Any thoughts about COVID has been fiber? Do you recommend coaching if the person has skills but hit or miss like 20 something? Whatever level you're at. So the other student, right, with 150 lays, he came to me for training when he was only like 30 something lays. Other students have more lays, like the black student before, but he couldn't get laid during COVID. The guy who got 2 lays in the same day, now he's just like so happy to be trained by me. Use a testimonial. Everyone comes at a different level. That guy had 15 years of experience in the game. He thought he was a master. He thought he figured it out. But everything I taught him, his mind is blown because it's simpler, it's more scientific, and it's just way more refined, more efficient. He just realized that he knows nothing. So it depends on your level. If you come to me as a newbie, I teach you different things. Every ethnicity too, different. You come to me intermediate, you have a different set of teachings. You come to me as an advanced, I bring you to the expert level. So it really depends. I even had a student in Europe, tall black dude. It's like 6'2", 6'3". He's fucking banging 9s and 10s, but I still updated a few things in his game. So it depends on who you are and what level. It doesn't matter. You come as you are, and I will bring you to the next level, the next one. Hope that makes sense. So let me play a testimonial.
In my game. He also helped me with 2 infield analyses from the past week or so, and he went through he done infield breakdowns with me and went through all my interactions, and they really helped me a lot, doing all steps with me learning social skills and social calibrations. Within the past week, something amazing happened. I first got a blowjob, or an instant date on a blowjob with a Middle Eastern girl. That was last weekend. Then I got 3 lays within the week, and one was with my Brazilian girl I got a same day lay with previously, and I transferred her into a fuck buddy. One was with my Chinese girl, transferred her into a fuck buddy.
Yeah, you can turn women into a fuck buddy without being overcomplicated. That's why the black student lost the first one as a fuck buddy, because he did it his way. You do it my way. It's like, you can turn that lay into a fuck buddy very easily. If you want, if you care for that kind of shit. If not, just go for next lay. Hold on a second.
And one was with a white girl, which I got the lay, and I kept having sex with her and transferred her into a fuck buddy, and she's also from Daygame. And he has literally transformed my life, because before I was very suicidal before I found him, but now he has literally gave me the correct tools for Daygame, because I went and listened to a lot of other coaches around, London coaches, and they just didn't have the skills in order to transfer to people with learning difficulties, with autism. And this is what they don't take into consideration and into account, that people may have autism, and you've got to teach them in a certain way that the guy with autism can understand. And only John in the industry can do that. No other dating coach can teach guys with autism and can teach social skills as good as him. He's literally the master at it. And if you don't believe me, take his coaching, because you will get results, because he doesn't mess around. He's not the nicest coach, He's definitely the most
Of course, I'm not the nicest.
firm coach, and he is nice when you get things right. But if you're resisting his training, then and you resist his information and his advice, he can be quite strict. He can be quite, you got to get this right because.
So it's not just the Asian students complaining how tough I am. It's because they're fucking zombies and they're getting everything wrong. And they cannot change their whole, it's all the white man's fault. And they keep telling me the same shit. It's all the white people who are going to get revenge on them when I'm banging on their way. That kind of mindset, because there's so much trash in your brain, makes it very hard to teach you. I'm always fighting your belief system, so you don't listen to anything I say. So I'm going to make a future list in the future to show all the physical changes. I'll fill out the circle. I'll show how much of the mindset exercises from a playlist have they used. Most didn't even start. How much of Elite 30 have they gone through? 2 days at most. All of them. They just want to approach to say, oh, lay, right? Throwing a basketball at the basketball hoop as hard as possible, as fast. Like, there's no fucking technique. There's no skills. It's just like sales. Like, some of these samurais, they're selling a better product themselves to the women. So they talk about their skills and tactics and strategies, but they have more value. Would that work for a person with low value? No, you need some actual training, some drills like a ninja. Same with poker. They're like, but it was a poker game, it's a strategy. Yeah, but you have like nonstop chips because you're white and tall and status maxing. It's so stupid, these examples. So if they're trying to play basketball and they're like, do this tactic and do that one, you win the game. Well, how about actually getting the fucking skills or fundamentals first? Real fundamentals, actual skills that the zombies cannot get. Okay, what about swimming to the COVID-19 island like this guy? He'd been yelled at for 2 weeks just to be able to float with this social skill flow drill. That's a real skill. Because if they're talking about tactics and strategies, it'll be like, okay, if you swim this way, then you want to breathe at this technique and do. You can't fucking remember that shit. It needs to be trained like a martial art, like a ninja, like a Navy SEAL, over and over, like an Israeli soldier, over and over again. You need 21 days in a row to train. If you skip more than 2 days, your brain does not assimilate. It's called a Malinian sheath in your brain. It's like a coat, a jacket that goes over your neurons. The more you train, it strengthens. So when the neural pathways, you go from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence when you know exactly what your mistakes are using the Skypes. Then conscious competence. Of course, you're not perfect. And at this point, for the 52-year-old student, he became a natural. This is so automatic for him after the second Skype and all that nipple pinching. He can't even make a mistake anymore. He can just walk into any set now. Something's going to happen. You know, he can urinate on Don John's face if he wanted to. If he just did this full time. You get so many fucking lays. In Germany, being bald, 5'7", ugly as fuck, 52 years old. If he wanted to. Like, he can literally, if I train him further, I can train him to be, to a level of a dating coach. But it took so much nipple pinching, so much yelling. It was ruthless, guys. You have no idea how tough his training is. That even students that are part of the United States military, all sorts of branches, are a little bit scared of me. I admit that. There are some students that have never been yelled at before. The other black student that got so many lays, like 25 now, in Daygame, he's never been yelled at except once during COVID. He kept making excuses. He says, sorry, John, I'll stop making excuses. They don't get yelled at. So there's a lot of students, for example, Revel over here, right? He's one of the testimonials. He was the last one. He's always on the YouTube live. He's never been yelled at. I've been quite firm. And I called him out. Well, I didn't yell at him because he's doing what I'm saying. If you just do what John is saying, Johnny Lee, I don't have to yell. But these fucking zombies with no grit, no growth mindset, no resilience, no instinct, no tenacity to finish the fight. All they have is fucking spam approaching and resilience. They give up the other three. If you just had grit and be willing to be teachable, I can get you to wherever you need to go. If you stop fucking resisting with your ego getting triggered. That's what I'm saying. Like, continue.
Your future, it depends on your future if you get this right or not. And he is definitely the best dating coach in the world. And if you want a dating coach that actually gets you laid rather than just getting you a number close and a flake, if you actually want a dating coach that actually gets you laid and actually gets you sex, then I would go with John Elite. He is literally the best ever dating coach out there and will ever exist. So if you literally on the fence, if you've seen his stuff, it's up to you. But I would seriously recommend him because he teaches the truth. He talks the truth. He teaches the truth. He doesn't teach no mental garbage. He teaches everything that you need to get laid. Within the past week, I've got 3 lays, 1 blowjob. He's absolutely astonishing what he can do. And I owe it all to him because without his training, I wouldn't have got that. I would never have got that. So he's definitely the best dating coach out there. Thank you, John Elite. And if you're on the fence with taking his training, I seriously highly recommend it. Thank you. Hi, I wanted to do a video testimonial for John Elite. He is literally the best day game coach in the world. It's got me results from Daygame through lockdown, through beyond belief. It's got me 5 fuck buddies from Daygame. It has literally got me 4 hot Chinese women in a fivesome from Daygame. And it's literally got me a 9 out of 10 Latina from Daygame. And I fucked all of them. And the recent ones I'm going to convert into fuck buddies, which will potentially be 10 fuck buddies. Which I've scheduled them all in this week. So I'm going to convert them.
Oh, this is before his 10th fuck buddy. It's probably 9th fuck buddy. It just happened. So this one's a little bit later. His voice is a little bit different. He sounds like more confident. So he's transformed a lot. They do contribute to a problem. So
Anyway. And the 9 out of 10 one, she works as a model.
Yeah.
And she's better looking than half what these white dating coaches.
Not half, like all of them. Seriously, put them side by side. This Steven's girlfriend is more attractive than like 99% of the dating coaches' girlfriends.
Yeah.
And he's an autistic guy who was about to kill himself using Todd V's game in London Daygame.
She's really, really good.
I'm glad he's still with us today.
Looking. And there's been a lot of hate on John recently. Especially this one-man haters mission. Hi, I wanted to...
Oh, don't worry about that part. I forgot about this one. No, it's all good. I get along with everyone now. We're all cool with each other. So don't worry about that. So there's no more beef or nothing. But however, yeah, you get my point. So for white dating coaches, before people call me racist because, oh, you talk badly about white dating, I'm judging a dating coach by their merits. Basically, how many late testimonials did they get for Daygame? Completely by their merits. So I don't even care what race they are. But if they're somehow white and they don't have much late testimonials like Charisma King, which has like 0, then that's what he gets judged by. Like Todd V has 3. That's what they get judged by. Another guy has like fucking 3 of them. That's it. 3. Self-proclaimed has 3. Like that, they get judged by their fucking testimonials. A little Jewish dude's like, he has 30, but it's like 29 good-looking white guys and 1 Asian. So he has that token Asian. That's what he gets judged by. So everyone's judged by their own merits from Johnny Elite. I've been called a white worshiper by the Asians. I've been called racist by the white people. Maybe they should point a finger at themselves. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just speaking the truth. Everyone's judged on their own merits. People should stop calling each other racist all the time. It's fucking stupid. You can't even talk about race. And now you have the, even government, everyone's like critical race. It's always a racist race. Shut the fuck up. All I'm saying is everyone's judged on their own merits. Stop blaming other people. Stop blaming me like, oh, John's like white worship. And then like, I'm just tired. Everyone has a different accusation. But there's one thing that doesn't change. John Elite has the most laid testimonials. John Elite gets every fucking race laid. John Elite has the most Asian laid testimonials in the world. John Elite has the most like Indian laid testimonials for Daygame in the world. John Elite has the most black, has the most every fucking race. I'll just post their testimonials later, like even in the screenshots for all the other Indians. It's not a problem. There's so many more. So many more. If they can only get 5 at most for a Daygame. I mean 5. I mean seriously. Like, that's all I gotta say. Okay. Before I go 2 hours and 15 minutes, I want to pitch my products. Kaizen and Elite 30 in particular, because today's lesson is you guys can leave if you don't want to hear this. You have my permission to drop off right now. So if you want to leave, do so now. Because if you don't want to be pitched to, this is the perfect opportunity to leave. I'll be waiting. Go ahead, drop off if you want to. If you want to stay, I'm going to pitch my products. I haven't done so throughout this entire YouTube live. All right, let's start. There's a solution out there with social skills, social calibrations. And this is like a ninja kind of game, a different type of game. Does not require high SMV. And everything that they teach you with the samurai swords and the samurai strategies, train like a ninja. Level up. It takes 21 days to develop a habit without skipping days. Elite 30 in Kaizen is the solution for COVID-19. My students have been getting like the kind of results that you see them getting. No other Daygame coach in the world getting students like that. I don't even have to be in a boot camp to teach them to get them this kind of results, which is a miracle. It doesn't take 6 months. It doesn't take a long time. It's quick. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of people on the fence. And if you're training under me, drop your Asian masculinity bullshit. Drop your old fucking training. Drop your brainwashing from RSD. Start fresh. Have grit. Have grit when you train under me. That's all I want, is to have a growth mindset. Have a fucking resilience. Have instinct to do the best way, the possible best way, my way. There's good stuff out there, samurai game. There's a better stuff out there. But there's also the best, which is my Daygame system, which is not all game. Social skills, social calibrations. Just drop everything you know. Like Bruce Lee says, empty your cup so that you may be filled. Drop your preconceived notions of whatever. And the only reason why a cup is good is because it is empty. A lot of you cannot empty your minds. You can't transform. You got to transform, and the women are like Octopus. They can actually see your value. You got to build that 20 off 35 bridge, 20 pieces. There's no other way. Stop buying nonstop gaming courses from other dating coaches. You're building the same fucking 2 bricks over and over again with samurai game. Oh, here's another sword. You're building the same fucking bricks over and over. Every single time, the same 2 fucking swords. Why are you building the same fucking things? How many courses are you going to go through getting no results? Or during COVID-19, all your results, even if you had height and stuff before, it all disappeared without my training. All your results vaporized because you're drowning. Like I said, I'm a day game coach. I have the most student late testimonials in the world. I am John Elite. And like Sun Tzu says, a Chinese general. Okay? The general. Let me get the quote out. Be careful with this one. Okay. Let's get the quote out. Sun Tzu. Chinese general. Sun Tzu. To my counsel. Because this is what I want to end with, this quote. Sun Tzu quote. All right. The general that hearkens to my counsel and acts upon it will conquer. Let such a one be retained in command. The general that hearkens not to my counsel, nor acts upon it, will suffer defeat, like the 4 Asian fucks in Marco. Let such a one be dismissed. That's all I gotta say. How you go around laziness, getting bored, sometimes talking with girls and interaction, getting similar with topics. But how can they be dropped if this is the world we lived in? Because your belief system is what is limiting you. Because you may think you're 100% right, and sociopaths always think they're 100% right. That's why a lot of my students, they have an inner voice, always telling them, don't listen to John. You're probably right. You know, he doesn't know, like, you're better than him. They always have the same fucking voice. All the time. The low self-esteem voice that their parents yell at. It's an echo chamber. So it creates your belief system. It does not mean your system's always, or your belief system's always right. Whoever has the most student results in the world, their system's right. For Daygame, this is probably closer to the truth than you guys realize. If their stuff is so truthful and so right, then why do they only have a fraction of my lay testimonials? This 20 out of 35 bricks to build the bridge is the correct concept. That's all I gotta say. See you in the next video in the future. And if I take weeks off, it's not because of that. I'm just busy. Tomorrow I have a student. I'm training, and I only have so much time. There's too many students right now. Just get my courses. Get Elite 30. Get the Elite Bundle or take Kaizen. And do it for 30 days. And don't complain. Rebuild yourself. Transform like a soldier. That's all I gotta say. And no. Thank you for being here, because your time is very valuable. Thank you for spending this few hours with me. So I hope you guys learned a lot, that it has opened your mind. Now you realize for Octopus Game or Octopus Theory that the women can see your value for the bricks, that you start building these aspects of your life now. You start building them. You no longer just think it's all game and strategies. Women can see through that stuff, but they can only see through so much when they're near you. The tentacles of the women's octopus arms can only see you when you're near. If you're on Tinder, they'll judge you by your race and by stereotypes. But when they're in front of you, at every second, the score changes. So if you start hunching, your score starts to change. You start hunching, your score will change. You start talking faster, your score will change in real time. That means it is not a fixed score. So you may start with a certain score, like some of my good-looking students. But when they talk fast and they hunch, they turn off the women, their score goes down. That means they can be like 9 out of 10 in looks. I have students that look like models. But regardless, when they start talking fast, acting like this and hunching, they slowly dry her pussy. That's the truth. So it's not about looks theory or jaw theory. The old man can over time or right away have enough value indicators of social skills, social calibrations. I'm just saying, I'm just surprised if you're not training under me, but if you do train under me, do not try to bring your own shit into it. Start fresh. If you're going to train like under Gordon Ramsay or something, I don't know, maybe shut the fuck up and do what he says. You want to train with the best chefs in the world, like Rubicon? He's dead now. Then shut the fuck up and do what he says. He has the most Michelin stars. You want to train with the best in the world? Just shut the fuck up. Do what I say. Stop trying to teach yourself. Stop just using me as a advisor. I'm the general. You're a soldier. Navy SEAL. And yes, the first week will be tough as hell. A lot of you get scared during the first week. Ability plus motivation equals high performance. Ability plus motivation equals high performance. So a lot of you, when you come here and you realize your ability is so fucking low, it zaps your motivation and your high performance goes down. Just realize that. Have some fucking grit, growth mindset, resilience, the right instincts to do the right things at the best way, and tenacity to finish the fight. That's all I gotta say. See you next video. Enjoy this one. John Elite out.